Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm David Sponheim, and today is Wasteful Wednesday. Hello. Yes, every day is something different. Monday is Conspiracy Monday, Truth Tuesday, Wasteful Wednesday, Technology Thursday, Freedom Friday, and Sustainable Saturday. That's part of what we do. A daily show dedicated to different themes that have been able to wrap our heads around certain problems facing the country. And today's Wasteful Wednesday, we can talk about social issues affecting the country, as well as the environment, the waste that we're dealing with, the toxicity that the two-party system has left us, horrible toxicity, the GMOs in our diet, the fluoride in our water. The Democrats don't talk about that at all. Yet so many people are waking up to the dangers of these toxins. The Democrats seem to endorse Dow Chemical. They don't care about the environment. Plus, we've got solutions for social issues like homelessness that the Democrats don't have. We address the issue that the Democrats have failed for 10 years in every city in America to deal with. Now 5 million people are homeless, roaming the streets of all the cities in America with no hope for a better future. And I hope to inspire hope in this country. That's what I want to do, because I can articulate the problems better than anybody. I've been a person who's lived in the street simply because I wanted to try it out. I bought a van and I lived in the street. I lived in the van, I didn't live in the street, but I can understand their plight, and I can tell you that these people don't want to work. And you're going, well, that's their fault. Why should they eat? Because they just don't want to take orders from people. That's why. If you had a serious solution, you'd probably include gardens that people could, grow food in, that they see the benefits of their hard work. But our government isn't coming up with solutions like that. We are. We would love to have tiny house villages for people and even mobile service units to help with tent cities. And we would love to have a homestead renewal plan that'll fix the country as well. But this is not going to make that happen. The two-party system is run by the New World Order, as evinced by this symbolic image of the Denver horse that they created. A horse that actually killed its own sculpture by landing on it. The sculpture actually died making this. This is wrought with all kinds of evil, this horse. And it's the single landmark that is still standing representing the New World Order. Now they've installed some sort of a weird gargoyle at the Denver airport that interacts with people. It's very strange. Interactive AI gargoyle. But what we're dealing with is a group of people that run the two-party system, and they don't care about homeless people. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about anybody but themselves. And when they think about their future, they're even more concerned because we know who they are. We're beginning to see the picture here of these scumbags who are trying to dictate the future of mankind and ultimately want to get rid of 90% of the population. And they've said that in clear words. They put it in actual sculpture called the Georgia Guidestones, which tells people right in front of your face that they want to reduce the population to 500 million people in the world. That's a 90% reduction in the current population. So if they have to spray us with chemtrails, poison our water with fluoride, stick toxins in every single piece of food we buy, dump tons of salt in frozen food items, which makes no sense at all, why all our frozen food items are super salty, stick corn syrup that's genetically modified that can sterilize the population in our food, left and right, they're going to get away with it. And all we can do is talk about it. Now, what happened yesterday, we got some damage reports from the actual fire, a wonderful view, a three-dimensional view of the Notre Dame Doma that was destroyed. You're looking right at the destruction of the fire. Look at this. This is immense. Now, they had a call for a fire alert minutes before they found a fire. Yeah, it's like they called a fire report in. Nobody saw a fire there. And then all of a sudden, the fire occurred, which is very suspicious. 23 minutes before they had a call in. Thank you, Psycho Behavior. Anyway, Here's that link. Scissorfied got it for us over at iVlog. I'll give it to you over at Vaughn if you want it. It's pretty cool. You can look at the Gigarama Notre Dame picture. Florida teen obsessed with the Columbine High School massacre is suspected of planning an attack, takes her own life. You know, this sounds more and more like a false flag. Yeah, everything about that this woman is obsessed with Columbine didn't make a lot of sense. And we heard that there was a big lockdown in Colorado yesterday. Well, this Florida teen obsessed with the Columbine High School massacre, suspected of planning attack, takes her own life. Was she a teen? I heard she was older than that. A Florida teenager who authorities say were obsessed with. She doesn't look like a teen to me. She looks like she's 40 years old. I don't get this. The body of an 18-year-old high schooler, Sol Pice, was discovered in the mountains. Got a tip of the driver who took her there. They had a manhunt. Now this doesn't make sense because this woman is not 18 years old. This is a 40-year-old woman. I don't buy any of this. My crap detectors are clicking in. Ding, 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 ding. BS, BS. Was that a horse, a Democrat or Republican? It's both. They own both parties. They control both parties. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't have created America's third party if we didn't see a need for a third party. I mean, let's be honest. The two parties are failing us. How can we even have a semblance of a democracy? This is a shamocracy. This is a BSocracy. This isn't some... No. No way. This is a dumbocracy, implying dumb people. New removable cast. Oh, nice. So, what happened to your arm? Forepaws. Oh, that was that. Yeah, you had arthritic. Arthritic buildup. He has thumb surgery, and he's finally has tendons replaced. Wow, and a replacement of arthritis bone. Did they use a cadaver bone to fill that in? Sometimes I heard they put cadaver bone in there to help it knit. I'm just saying, not that it's a big deal. Have your thumb walking around with somebody else's bone in it. I'm not a veteran of Vietnam. I would have been if I was born 3 years earlier. I would have been in that rally or that lottery. I was very fortunate. David, can we start an ATP betting pool on the date when Alex Trebek? No. We would never do that. No. I would have served, yes. I signed my selective service documents. If I was called in a draft, I would have served. Well, my father was a war hero, so you usually follow in your father's footsteps. I would have gladly given my life to save the nation from a real war, but we haven't been attacked, and Vietnam wasn't even an attack, so you got to wonder, what was that all about? If this country was attacked, I think we'd all step up and defend it. That's why I support gun rights, the right of you to bear arms. It's important. It's the last line of defense to a dangerous takeover of our nation. Okay, good. Save the day. It kind of upsets me that I had a oh, awesome. Good. Okay. Just checking on things. Vietnam was a manufactured conflict. I don't think I don't think in any way I disagree with you. I think LBJ knew exactly what he was doing. Remember, LBJ was the one that did not respond to the USS Liberty being attacked by Israel. LBJ was responsible for initiating a buildup of troops in Vietnam. It happened under his watch, not John F. Kennedy's. People would like to say John F. Kennedy started it. He just sent advisors over there. He would not have initiated troop deployment. We lost 58,000 men over in Vietnam because of LBJ. I owe it all to him. Truly. Big mistake. And 4 million South Indonesian people, Southeast China was affected. 4 million people died. Terrible. All right. JFK was killed. We weren't going to go to war. No. Indochina. Thank you. Not Indonesia. You're correct, Daddy Mark. Yeah, Indochina. 4 million people died in Indochina. JFK was never like Trump, Ben. I'm going to mute you. No, better yet, I'm just going to purge your statement. That's just totally out of line. Oh, wow. My tools aren't even working. Mark took those away. Okay. Yeah, I can't allow that in this. Yeah, sorry, Ben. No way. Trump is so far from John F. Kennedy, it's not even funny. I'm more like John F. Kennedy just because I sound like him. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. I don't think so. I don't think John F. Kennedy was the big womanizer that you claim he was. I don't have any proof of that, but do you have any proof he actually did the women in the wine cellar? What did they call it? A 5-minute quickie he did? I don't think there's any solid proof that he was involved with Marilyn Monroe. Of course, we never found her diary. Yeah, that's got to be one example right there. I think Marilyn Monroe was killed by one of the Kennedys, so what am I saying? I just don't think it was John F. Kennedy. I think it was Ted. Well, the theory that I had a long time ago, and I still have this, is that Marilyn Monroe, of course, died with Seconal overdose, and she was injected. And there was blood on the wall that the police covered up, implied a cover-up. So once we see a cover-up with Marilyn's murder scene, it implies somebody at a high level killed her. So automatically we assume that it's one of the Kennedys because they were, allegedly having affairs with her, and I think Ted would have felt left out if he hadn't had an affair with her. And they say that she was violently beaten up, and she had bruising. Thomas Noguchi did a detailed reanalysis of the whole thing. He said that she was definitely murdered. It wasn't suicide. And they never found her diary. So she may have had the goods on JFK. I don't know. But I'm going to leave that one open because if you're right and JFK was a womanizer like Trump, then I guess they do share that one quality. But I see JFK in a different light. Marilyn Manson is still alive, yeah. He had a concert last year. Yeah. Trump had extramarital affairs and hasn't admitted it. And that's the sad truth. He even claimed he didn't pay off Stormy Daniels, and he lied about that in a plane. He said, no, I don't know anything about payoffs. And then Michael Cohen and Rudy Giuliani have both admitted that he made a payment. So Trump is still out there having not admitted to at least one adultery affair. One instance of adultery. And his wife has remained silent except to write things in the back of her coat. Melania. I don't know any of these stories about JFK, that he had STDs. I'd rather open up the story about JFK being killed. Man sues parents for trashing his porn collection. That's terrible. To turn it against your parents because you're that addicted to porn? That's sad. Well, let's be clear. Yeah, what is the world becoming, Man sues parents. A 40-year-old man in Michigan has now filed a lawsuit against his parents for allegedly trashing his large collection of porn, which he relied on to make him happy.
Photos of a man who was hit in the eye with a bungee cord show what the human eye looked.
That's ridiculous. A Michigan man is seeking more than $86,000 from his parents in civil court for allegedly throwing out his large pornography collection. The names of the son and his parents were withheld. which obtained the federal civil court documents. The man moved in with his parents in October of 2016 after going through a divorce, bringing with him a collection of pornography that he told courts amounted to $29,000 he had invested. Wow. The collection apparently was enough to fill 12 moving boxes plus another 2 for his sex toys. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the guy just, it happens. Things happen. You lose files. Well, he had to move in with his parents, and I think he should have been upfront with his parents and said, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I got a big, porn collection in the back. I think, could you at least honor my wishes to keep it in a locked box?" Something like that. If he had told them that, they could always claim that it just disappeared accidentally. They didn't know what it was. It was just, we gave the boxes away. But I don't know the specifics in the case, and I'm not representing the parents in this case because I'm not an attorney. Yeah, it's important to tell them that you have, obviously, I'm sure a lot of you have told your parents that you're addicted to porn. I think that's a safe way to, start your relationship off. I don't think your parents need to know this, actually. Seriously. Well, you're right. And kiddie porn is what, in fact, if any of it was, related to that, it's definitely an issue. Awesome. Thank you. Well, it's nice that I'm cleaning my hard drive. Yeah, another 29. You can imagine the high quality of his pornography collection, too. Let's just think about this entire subject for the next 10 minutes and waste our time talking about it. Because I can't think of a better way to waste Wasteful Wednesday when you think about it, talking about porn. Could we elevate out of that discussion? Because I don't think that's really an important political discussion. But I appreciate the information. Speaking of people, disreputable people that don't have a conscience, Beto O'Rourke actually made a statement that's kind of shocked a lot of people, but not me. I mean, this guy's got scumbag written all over him. Beto O'Rourke says, "I may not give much to charity, but hey, I'm giving you me." Can you imagine the egomania of this guy who was a hacker at one time and wrote a story about how he wanted to murder children? And on top of it, actually got really drunk, 0.134 alcohol, and ran into a truck, crossed into oncoming traffic, could have killed children at that point. He tried to flee from the scene of the crime, according to a witness. Yeah, it's just, this is like, and this is the guy the Democrats put out there as some gleaming example of hope. I've seen his body movements. I'm seriously wondering if he's not high on something. Have you seen his herky-jerky body movements? Something's going on there, man. It's like weird. All right. His crevasse under his nose is concerning. Yeah, I'm sure. That is quite a crevasse, I must say. You could probably float a river in between his nose. It's like, it almost looks like a Hitlerian mustache. Now, people accuse me of having a large lip, but the crevasse there is really an issue. Well, I don't know. All I can say is his behavior indicates possible, pharmaceutical use. If he has a prescription for that type of amphetamine, I mean, then I understand. Yes, it's the philtrum. Correct. The part in the crevasse, the philtrum. I do have a crevasse. It's right here. I could have facial surgery to have it installed deeper. Hey, there you are, Misanthropy. Nice to see you. Now, North Korea is ramping up the rhetoric, but you'll notice one thing about this story that I'm going to show you is, they say it's test-fired, a tactical guided weapon. You'll notice that there's no mention of nuclear in this page. Let me do a fine search for it. Hang on. You see, Vladimir Putin told Donald Trump that Kim Jong-un has no nuclear weapons, and Donald Trump actually agreed with Vladimir Putin. Oh, I believe Vladimir Putin, and I take Kim Jong-un on his word for it. Warmbier did not in any way. He didn't do the Otto Warmbier killing. He didn't. The test comes during an apparent deadlock in nuclear disarmament talks. Okay, let's see if there's another image. There's another one. It registered its anger over the way nuclear negotiations were going. Okay. Korea has suspended nuclear and long-range rocket tests, according to this. And Washington says it won't allow the North's desired sanctions relief until the nation commits to verifiably relinquishing its nuclear facilities. All right. That's the easy way to get through nuclear and North Korea with the find search on your browser. No, I think Alex Trebek is just a guy who believes in working, even though he's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer. You got to admit that Alex Trebek is a rock of a human being. I think everybody has always liked the fact that he's never really asked any of the questions himself and has just continually pretended like he knew the answer even though he's reading it. Yeah, he's one of the few people in the world that people think is really intelligent even though he's never actually given himself the test. Yeah. Jeopardy. I don't know what he's in charge of, but I can tell you that he's going through a lot, and I think we should be kind to Alex Trebek and not say bad words about a guy. I mean, let's start thinking in terms of prayer. Some of you atheists, would you like to pray to your non-God? Pray for a better future. Pray for a time traveler to help Alex Trebek. Pray for a reptilian involvement. I don't care what your God is at this point. Just pray for Alex Trebek, okay? Let's send some positive vibes toward him because he needs it. That's not easy to get past pancreatic cancer. We've all seen a lot of major actors. Yeah. Bonanza. Dun 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 dun. Michael Landon suffered from a pancreatic cancer from, I think it's sugar drinks that get people. This is a word of warning to all of you. If you think you're saving energy by drinking Diet Coke, including Trump, look into the whole serious concern they have about aspartame and NutraSweet. Seriously. Don't just forget about looking up things. If you're into diet sodas and zero-calorie sweeteners, look into the dangers. Do yourself that favor. Go online and check it out. There's more than enough evidence that is seriously alluding to the cause of pancreatic cancer. Sugar can do it too. Sugar water, as well as zero-calorie sweeteners. They're both screwing up the pancreas big time. You know, you don't need to do a tour of the airport. I can tell you that they spent more money on the Denver airport than any other airport in the country, if not the world. It's got 8 floors below that nobody knows why they even have it. It's supposed to be a baggage sorting area. Nobody's ever used it. And on top of that, there's the fact that the whole airport was made out of tents. I mean, tents are cheap. You can build tents and spray them with fiberglass and use Kevlar and spray them with fiberglass. They're pretty tough tents that last forever. That's the cheapest construction they could have gone into. So a lot of that money that we apportioned for the Denver airport is not there. I would look over the actual construction costs of the Denver airport, and I would probably find huge glaring problems with tent construction. Alex Trebek is worth $50 million. Well, you can't take it with you. Look at Steve Jobs. We found out last week that he had a wiki leak out there that said he had AIDS. Steve Jobs never wanted anyone to know he had AIDS, but he didn't die just of some pancreatic problem. It was AIDS. So I hope that Alex Trebek is on a regime of CBD oil. I can tell you that that's going to be very, at least minimize his symptomology. I can't say that it cures anything other than brain cancer, because that was studied in Madrid and then later in Denmark to have shrunk the size of brain tumors. CBD oil and THC, non-psychoactive THC, can actually reduce the size of brain tumors. So that's an interesting side note. But I certainly hope he gets some CBD oil as part of his regime. Oh, you go to somewhere to eat and you know the menu better than the person taking your order. You have to inform the person. Well, maybe she was just new to the job. They have a big turnaround at these restaurants that you go to. You're trying to find that one food that you really love. I don't blame you, man. And you're kind of a finicky eater, so you're really particular when you order at takeout, huh, Misanthropy? Nancy Pelosi says Attorney General Barr believes something.
The American people are.
What about this week? It appears that the Attorney General is going to finally send to the Congress the redacted version of Robert Mueller's investigation and his nearly 400-page report. What do you expect to see? And you must have been having conversations. How redacted do you think it'll be? And do you think you're going to be able to accept it?
Well, first of all, we don't know, and that's why we said, show us the report. For the Attorney General, though, to say, I'll use my own judgment about what I redact, that's not necessarily going to be the final product. The American people deserve the truth. They need to know the truth. There was an assault made on our elections by the Russians. All of our intelligence community in high confidence have said that the Russians tried to disrupt our election. That is the heartbeat of our democracy. We have to find out what happened so it doesn't happen again. And it isn't up to the Attorney General, who has said basically that the president is above the law and the rest, so he's there to redact whatever he wants. Well, let's just see what he puts forth before we make. You can't make a judgment about something that you haven't seen yet, and so we look forward to seeing it. We have very smart people who will be reading it from the standpoint of our committees and the rest, and we'll go to the next step, determining. Depends on what is in there and what is.
Okay. All right, Nancy, thank you. Nancy Pelosi, I'm going to request that some of you at least understand that the Democrats and the CNN have a right to speak out, just like anyone in Fox News. Yeah, I think you're really kind of overwhelmingly biased against CNN at all levels.
Grace, but why were you afraid of her?
I don't think there's a problem there on basic issues of Russian complicity. I mean, they got the facts right. The CIA and the FBI confirmed that Russia rigged the election in favor of Donald Trump. Okay, apparently they've got a picture of Jesus, or somebody said it was a picture of Jesus. People see Jesus in the Notre Dame flames, according to the photos. That's not Jesus. That's Lucifer. Yeah, that was probably a holographic graphic image that they constructed. Oh, that could be Jesus. Okay, because the Vatican worships Jesus as Lucifer, or Lucifer as Jesus. So I think that's a pretty interesting picture, though. And it could very well have been a holographic image, or maybe it's just Lucifer. Yeah. That's not Jesus. It could be some projection that they created when they did the Tinder. They probably said, well, if we light this up with an accelerant, it'll look just like Jesus, aka Lucifer, in the eyes of the Vatican. People are wondering why the Vatican does a Latin Mass recanting the word Lucifer. And I tried to explain to you that, the Vatican has a new building that has a snake head on it, and they're worshiping some pretty dark forces over there. I don't understand where the Catholic Church decided to go Luciferian and reptilian, but look at that. That's their building. And I could say, well, that just happens to be the way they designed it, kind of thing. But then look at that. If that doesn't look like a snake, I don't know what does. I mean, hello? So what's the deal? I don't get that. Yes, Kim Jong-un has fired multiple short-range missiles today, but none of them have been nuclear. I don't think Kim Jong-un is allowed to say that he has nuclear weapons anymore. Putin told him, "You must not talk about a nuclear weapon. I assured Mr. Trump that you do not have nuclear weapon." That's the kind of thing we're talking about. Okay, so Sarah's here. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Thanks for coming home and hanging out. We're just wrapping things up here. We're going to find out probably tomorrow what the redacted version of this is, and everyone's saying it shouldn't be redacted. Why is Barr redacting it? And I think Barr should disbar himself, or at least recuse himself.
Why two versions?
Well, Justice Department's releasing two versions of the redacted Mueller report because I think Barr wants to cover up all of Donald Trump's complicity with Russia. That's the only thing I can say. I think Barr is working for the same people that financed.
Well, The Hill has an article or opinion piece. Why William Barr should resign.
Okay,
It's right here.
let's take a look. The Hill's taking a look at that. My idea is he should resign because he should have recused himself. For the same reason Jeff Sessions recused himself. Barr wrote a letter favorable of Michael Flynn, who was a Russian agent. That alone should make him too subjective to be objective.
I should state that this is the opinion of Elizabeth Holtzman, an opinion contributor, and not necessarily the view of the
Opinion
Hill.
contributor Elizabeth Holtzman writes, quote, "After Attorney General William Barr releases his redacted version of the report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller on Thursday, he should resign. His blatant partisanship disqualifies him from continuing as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States. Neither Congress nor the public will trust that he has been objective and fair in what he has decided to make public of the report, nor will they believe that he can handle any further issues surrounding wrongdoing by President Trump with integrity." She continues, quote, "Let us consider the record of Barr in his short time as Attorney General in this administration. After 2 years of constant attacks by Trump on the Justice Department and Special Counsel for investigating the possible collusion between the campaign and Russian interference in the 2016 election, Barr could have been a breath of fresh air as an Attorney General who would firmly stand up for the rule of law. Instead, he just joined in the attacks, calling for yet another investigation into FBI actions during the campaign and releasing a biased summary of the special counsel report."
People are going to raise the question, like, why, for a conspiracy that took place in mid-2010, are we only seeing charges 7 or 8 years later?
Is there a
right?
statute of limitations issue, by the way? Would it be 10 years from when this actually occurred? Is that why we're seeing this now?
Possible. So normally it's 5 years. So then you could say, right, what's going on here, right?
Right.
There's an extension for terrorism-related activities. So the DOJ is saying, ignore the 5-year statute of limitations that normally would bring us to 2015. We get to 2018 because of this 3-year extension. That's going to be vigorously fought. First in the UK at the extradition level, then in Virginia at the prosecution level, because don't think the defense is just going to roll over and accept that.
Do you think Assange could beat this? Could he beat these charges?
It's possible.
Yeah, I suppose it's possible, especially if he exists. You know, I still have the belief that Assange is a CGI character, and he may have even, disappeared a long time ago. CIA, okay, warn of future attack. All right. We did see a reference to the attack at the Notre Dame Cathedral, a reference to it in the movie I Pet Goat 2, which is a reference to the book that George Bush was reading and an animation that was created about it. George Bush was reading a book when our trade center was attacked, and it was called I Pet Goat 2, and this video was created and an animation was created referencing what appears to be the actual Notre Dame Cathedral falling down and a tower collapsing in the eyes of this particular being here. Let me just show it to you real quick. I'm going to turn the volume down so they don't in any way redact it or monetize it, but
Well, they still might, but
they might. But you can see in the background the collapse of the building in the back, and it's next to the cross, and it's just like the steeple falling down of Notre Dame. This is a video that many people believe was created by a secret society. And then it goes on to show that the Great Pyramids are breaking down. And we're wondering, is the next attack going to be the Great Pyramids?
Oh, then there's the pyramids.
They're the pyramids. And watch how it breaks down in the background. And somehow a laser fires
like
the
a
sun.
laser.
Yeah, look at that. So is the next big move to take down the Great Pyramid? That was the Great Pyramid, the largest of the pyramids.
Oh, then they all collapse.
Then they all collapse after that. So is this prophecy or is this self-fulfilling prophecy?
Is the sun like a global climate change?
I think the sun is a black hole of some sort. Many people believe that that's the weirdest aspect. Remember that guy, Doug Vogt, that I talked about, who did a detailed analysis on Barack Obama's birth certificate? And we had him on the radio show.
Yeah.
He's got a very interesting theory about the sun being a black hole and having that ability. I don't know. That's just a theory out there, but that's been promoted quite a bit on the internet. And there's that Chris Cornell song, "Black Hole Sun."
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a weird reference too. So I don't know. We're just throwing ideas out there. But if this video that we just played, the iPad Goat 2 animation, which is about 7 minutes long, came out a few years ago, if that's prophesizing something, my question is it a self-fulfilling prophecy where they actually do the dirty deed of starting a fire and then blaming, Muslims or something? Because there was a group of Muslims outside the cathedral that had gas bombs in them, a bunch of weird things they found. It looked very sketchy. It's like they were the fall guys for this attack on the Notre Dame building. But the fact that the police got a report 23 minutes early about a fire, they went there and there was no fire, and they left, and then the fire started right after that. That implies arson. So I don't think this is an accident that happened because they were working on reconstruction. I think it was most likely arson. Okay, I've got a few links I just brought in from Scissor Fight I'll look at in a little bit. Thank you. Oh, you still have a cold? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah, what's up? Apparently, my cat Fluffy is still struggling. She's like 4 days into her cold.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Get some rest. You're very kind to come in. I'll look at your link too.
And Ticken is also suffering strep throat.
Ticken has strep throat. I'm so sorry. Yeah, here's the story I referenced just a second ago. Chris Cornell fans asked NASA to name first black hole photographed after late black hole singer. So they want this supposed photograph of a black hole that came out last week, they want to name it after Chris Cornell. Widow Vicky Cornell supports the gesture, truly an incredible gift from the fans. Thanks for suggesting that, fans. All right. I'll be back.
All right, David, take your time.
Yeah, I will. That's pretty interesting. We don't know what the sun really is. We were always taught that it was an energy source that's been around for ever, and it is using a fusion type of energy to slowly converting mass to energy. And I'm okay with that theory too. But this concept that it's a black hole of sorts really is kind of strange.
Sucking in helium and...
We don't know exactly what the sun's action inside is, but I can tell you that there are changes in the complexion of the sun affects the Earth. Solar spots oftentimes lead to weather changes, and our magnetosphere is altered right now, and many people believe the sun is reacting to the altered magnetosphere. Because remember, these huge bodies are in symbiotic relationship forever. They're floating in space. Gravity is obviously related to the magnetosphere. So if we're dumping chemicals, heavy metals with magnetic charges in our outer atmosphere, it's bound to affect the sun, just like the sun is bound to affect our weather patterns. So that's just common logic. Can we put a background of Japanese cherry blossoms? That's an interesting, very interesting request. Hang on, let's take a look. Yeah, it's that time of year. What do you think? This one right here?
Fine with me. Whatever. The pink one's good. Whatever you want.
Pink one. It's a pink one for Sarah. Oh. That one, that doesn't really get me anywhere. Let's see. That might work. Get me somewhere. Cherry blossoms. Okay, let me take it in. All right, let's see how fast I can do this.
Wow. You'll be feeling like you're dying in a few hours? Why? Oh, because you feel so good? You think it'll just wear off?
Do you have antibiotics?
Maybe it'll stay in. He got a massage before he came home.
Oh.
His first massage in 4 years.
Wow. That's amazing. I heard those are, professional masseuse. That's like a 40-minute.
It hurts a few hours later. Oh, okay.
Oh.
You must really.
It was a deep rub, probably a Swedish masseuse.
Nice.
Deep rubbing. A deep rub masseuse, yes. Okay, here we go. Cherry blossoms. Nice. Kind of a pinkish atmosphere here. Different look. Okay, I am definitely going to let Sarah take over. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real massage. Okay. I've never gone to a masseuse, real masseuse. I could probably use a real massage. My back is definitely hurting today. I have heard that Washington, D.C. has a lot of cherry blossoms, and I've also heard that a great time of year to go is July, 4th of July, because they bring in all kinds of folk festival. They bring in stuff for a folk festival, but it's like folk art from around the world and things like that. Nice. Good photo you took of cherry blossoms. Much better than this one. Wow. Spring is here. Our pear tree is blossoming. Oh, we also have some cherry trees that are blossoming as well. Our cherries, all of them are white flowers. I've got to put some good soil on my cherry trees if I want to get good fruit this year. And probably water it more. I definitely should bring in, I have my last of my soil. I should probably bring it home and put it around my cherry trees. Because my cherries end up being really tiny and like sour cherries, even though there should be like Bing cherries. Orchard mason bees will give us lots of cherries and other fruit. They, the cherries, yeah, I didn't even know there were cherry trees for a while. You so rarely eat fruit you don't remember what a cherry tastes like? Wow. I love fruit. Oh. You don't eat fruit because you don't buy it because you're afraid it'll go bad quickly or something? Just don't have a taste for it when you go out to eat a lot? They don't have any fruit things unless they're cooked. Oh. That's an interesting thought, Badger Waxer. Oh, I really need to get out and work on my drip line. Oh, your ex would have made you eat vegetarian all the time? That's a reason to leave somebody. No, I'm not a vegetarian. Can eat whatever I want. Go out to any restaurant. Now that you're gone. Whatever. Don't worry about baby, I'll be okay. But it's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took my love away. I ate rhubarb today, Scissor Fight. Rhubarb and berries. It was a frozen mixture, but I think it was locally grown. Oh, that's a good idea. Start writing in rhyme to enhance your vocabulary and creative writing skills. Do you have a rhyming dictionary? I have an old Walker's Rhyming Dictionary. Those are very cool. Oh, on your phone. I got it. You've got everything on your phone. Huh. Treat the tree with lime and sulfur in the fall. Okay. I was thinking of just putting out my vermicompost and dumping it around the cherry trees and seeing what happens. That. You're gonna make rhubarb pies in the fall. Yum. Oh, anyway. Those rhyming dictionaries are really interesting. It instead of being in alphabetical order, it's in alphabetical order by the last letter. Yeah, it's by the last letter rather than the first letter. Oh, nice. Free open source FOSStory.com, a poet assistant. Nice. Very good. Do the cherry blossoms get pollinated? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because there is fruit on it, but the fruit is like really thin. I guess that's the best word to describe it. So the fruit, it just doesn't get like a big cherry. It gets like a little cherry. That's the problem with my cherry trees. Oh, the Business Insider Carl's Jr. is debuting a CBD burger. I wonder if it's going to be on 420. $700 on a keyboard? Why? I would say no. Unless, why? Or at least why? I always ask why. And do you really need it? Hello, Raze. Wait, is it a music keyboard or a computer keyboard? That's a good question. All right, thank you. Scissor Fight, good question. Carl's Jr. will become the first major fast food chain to debut a cannabis-infused burger. Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight on 420. The Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight will be topped with CBD-infused Santa Fe sauce. Oh, it's only going to be sold at one location in Denver for a single day, and it will cost $4.20. Like, they're not even going to sell it in Washington State. Then never mind. You're going to Denver? Link it. Here you go. Wait, is that a question? What's with the question mark, Smithsanthropy? I don't go to Starbucks? I don't go to Starbucks? Okay, then it should be a period. I don't go to Starbucks, period. Exclamation mark. I don't go to Starbucks. Whereas I don't go to Starbucks with the question, it turns it into talking like the women with the inflected endings.
Yeah, don't even pursue that story. They hit me with that one last night.
They hit you with what story? I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. If the burger sells well in Denver, Carl's Jr. may consider expanding the test and selling it at more locations, an executive told Business Insider. Can I yell a bit more? Yes, I can yell. Stop calling. Does that work? Oh, good. I can sit down. No, I can't. Oh, my goodness. I think I have like a bursa on my heel. My foot is bothering me. You've been wanting to ask me something for 2 weeks. I've been here. Why haven't you asked? Oh. I haven't seen it. The Lorax movie. Have I seen it? I don't think I've seen it yet. I'll have to watch it. Do you think I'll be upset by it? You're more upset there's no movie about the thorax. The Lorax movie ruined your love for the Lorax book? Oh, then I'm not going to watch it. I love the Lorax book. You know what book I hate? I was telling me, like, oh wait, you all do know the book I hate. Canterbury Tales. But another book I dislike very much is, that's true. I really dislike, no, I hate The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I like other things by Shel Silverstein, but I do not like that book at all. It is, it's like it's so much about a user. In the end, the tree, like the giving tree, just gives and gives and gives, and the kid like takes it and tears it down and like cuts it up. Doesn't even plant a new tree. There's a really good book called Autumn Time. That at least gives you hope at the end. Anyway, I did like The Giver. That was a good book. I don't remember how it ended. But that was a good book, yeah. And have you, is it Ember is another one? I think it's Ember. Well, usually I watch a movie and it makes me like realize the book is way better. Is that how the Lorax was? That the book was way better? It ruined your love for the book. That makes me think that the movie would be better than the book. All right. Good form about, thank you, Badger Waxer, about cherry trees and their fruit. Fruit not maturing on a cherry tree. Oh yes, that's what I need. Lots of blossoms, bees. Well, maybe this tree is, if they're turning yellow and dropping, then maybe they're Rainier cherries and not Bing cherries. Oh, I see. Yellowing and then they drop, huh? All right, thanks for that thing. Bit of a read, posts over several years, but it ends up that the one guy needs to treat with lime and sulfur. Thank you. Thanks very much. Lime and sulfur. All right. Thanks, guests 109. I don't know. I never got into the RSS feed thing. So I don't follow people like Lifehacker or anything like that. I feel like I need to sit up better. Sit up, Sarah. Oh, dude. No, you don't need to do sit-ups. You just need to sit up straight. Do I believe in a higher power? Yes. I do. Yes, I do. Have you ever, my friend, I was thinking that today, a friend of mine said their higher power was a little blue, or I don't care about the color, a little blue bouncing ball, like the kind that's made out of rubber. And he said that whenever he felt frustrated, he would just take a little bouncing ball or frustrated or couldn't figure things out, he would bounce the ball. And I said, how's that your higher power? He's like, well, it's better than I am because I can throw it at the wall at 90 miles an hour and it comes back the same way it was. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's a good point, Misanthropy. I do believe in exponents, a higher power. Oh, the guy that created Reddit helped develop RSS. Ah, interesting. Holy magnolia tree. I like magnolias. I do believe in angels as well. Your higher power is a tree because no matter what, it doesn't mean anything to a tree. And you can go outside and take a nature break. Even just looking at a picture of nature, it just helps your body, helps your mind. Yeah, I believe angels are real. Yeah, I just finished, well, I didn't read it. I listened to a book by Daniel Pink called When. And it was pretty interesting. One of the things he talked about is having for every hour go out and take some kind of break. And one of the suggestions was to have a nature break where you just like go outside. Just 5 minutes, and then it helps you focus back on your work. Yeah, it's not about worship. It's just It's just being able to like relax your mind and nature is really phenomenal. Looking at all the trees and enjoying it. Trees and flowers and all kinds of things. That's a good idea. Nature sounds playing in the background. Here, I have crickets. You don't like nature? My relaxation is your anxiety. Wow. What makes you so anxious about nature? Oh, it's for birds, an old shoe. Oh, that's cute. That is a neat idea, Scissor Fight. It's ugly, repulsive, and unpleasant. You like clean lines, I take it? Organize, everything organized and in its place. Is that what you think, 819? I can't do nature sounds, misanthropy, even though it would be good. Okay, I'll leave it. Yeah, that is interesting. Recycle the boot for the birds instead of putting it in the landfill. You like electric lights. You don't like the smell of the outdoors. Okay. Hello, stealth mode. Okay, thank you, misanthropy. I agree with this. There was something interesting I heard on NPR one day about the thickness of undergrowth in a forest and how it changes bird calls. You say the human body was never meant to go outdoors? That's hilarious. I'm glad you're all relaxing. I'm trying to relax your brain so that you'll be ready when David comes in. Yes, it does. When there's more undergrowth, it diminishes the distance the calls travel. It was very interesting. Yeah, I could see that, misanthropy. I kind of, yeah. Oh, it's all good. No, not. I don't mean it as a manipulation. In an old growth forest, there's very little undergrowth. Huh. That's interesting. We have some areas that were forests, but they were cut down, so we're adding undergrowth. Yeah, the forest is up in the sky in the canopy. especially in an old growth forest. Oh. David would be like that. Like, he doesn't believe we landed on the moon, but he doesn't believe in the possibility of a flat earth either. And I'm like, I do believe we landed on the moon. David does have a wonderful mind. Yeah, I'm open to the idea that we're not being told something. Thank you. You'll meet David very soon, 494. He's the love of my life. Stealth mode. We've all got it wrong. The Earth is a Borg cube. Yes, I'm very open to that possibility, Chicken. You'll continue to be skeptical or open to the idea we're not being told something. They would say, well, our Hubble telescope is facing out. That's why we can see something so many miles away. 50 million light years away. Yeah, I tune them down. The Borg cube, that's funny. Resistance is futile. I still don't want to look at the news. These nature sounds don't just seem like they're making me sleepy. They are making me sleepy. I don't know why. They are making me relaxed. And I'm just like melting into it. I'm melting into the sounds. But I do like the bird sounds. It sounds like I'm outside even though I'm not. I like this concept of like playing nature sounds maybe in my classroom. I never did set up the hammock to take a nap in the backyard. I really, yeah, I regret not doing that. Thank you for featuring me on iVlog. This sounds like your backyard in the spring. That's awesome. Oh, that's a good idea. I could set up the hammock now. Because it is a really good time right now. And I could go lay up there. Like the sun is still up at 8 o'clock at night. It's been a little cold lately though, but or make, yeah, I could ask David to do it for me. Well, I could do it this weekend maybe. 819 likes AC/DC. You consider that relaxation? I do not consider that relaxation. Hello? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I will pass that message along. Yeah, I think David is okay with conservatives as long as they're not Trump supporters. Cordless phones make bees go crazy. I have heard that behavior as well. You can see the iBlog chat, but when you press enter in the iBlog chat, it won't put it in the iBlog chat, Steve-oo? Send David a really long phone cable for Christmas. Do you think what do you think are worse? These phones or cell phones? These ones always have a hum, like I'm feeling like I'm hearing in this nature one, like a static. I am okay. Who said I have a home phone service? Something like that. Everything, Stealth Mode says it doesn't matter, everything's digital now. Probably true. This is pretty cool if your backyard sounds like this, Stealth Mode. Yeah. Oh, you live in the woods? That's cool. I have a lot of frogs near my place, so those definitely do. Vonage. At one point we did do Vonage, yes. We did all kinds of things. I sound like I'm near the water, yes. Okay, Steve-oo, I'm sorry that it only lets you type in iVlog. Where, by chance, are you watching us? Are you watching us on coolrock.com, or are you watching us on Mon Live, mon.live/third party? I'm elevating 1 foot. It feels good. I might elevate both feet here in a minute. Okay, there we go. Do you remember my first kiss with David? Yes, it was outside a restaurant, I believe. But my first day with David, the next day we went to and we spent basically the whole day together, which was really nice. Yes, I remember that too, Egghead. Yeah, it is surreal. You should revisit that place, maybe. Yeah, he's not a big fan of PDA. Or maybe I'm not a big fan of PDA, public displays of affection. But I think if that's true, if we're both not fans, and it's for different reasons. Actually, sometimes we do hold hands in public. That's true. Yeah, we do. We do that. That's true. I don't know if that counts as PDA or not. I guess it's not. I don't know. I guess it all depends on who you ask. Yeah, it feels like yesterday in many ways. You hate holding hands? Oh. I guess you're not much of a cuddler either, huh? I feel like I've really arrived at the right spot in my life. Sitting near this cherry tree and
Yeah, relaxing.
listening to the waterfall.
You have a waterfall in the background?
It's just something from YouTube.
That's cool.
Which you're probably going to monetize me on.
Wow, that'd be a trip. That'd be kind of funny if they did. I made dinner for you. The Brussels sprouts need to cook a little longer, so you could just turn the flame off when you're done. All right. Yeah, slamming it together with stovetop and microwave combined. It's kind of cool. I think I'll go with the background. Thanks, Sarah. We hold hands in public, yeah. Sarah and I have walked, but I could do that more often. Can you please turn off activated chatters only? Sure. Yeah, whatever you want. I'm here for your best interests. I know. They're going to come at me. Be it on record that Tickin' Time Bags is asking, so if we do get slammed, Tickin' Time Bags will be responsible for the troll attack. We will be monitoring the entire troll attack, and if it's what I think it's going to be, Tickin' Time Bags will be named as the person to blame.
I have something to tell you.
Okay, hang on. All right. Hi. Did you vote in the poll? I didn't get the poll. Bird singing hours in the background. Relaxing 8 hours of bird singing and water sounds. Wow. Is that playing right now? That's so nice. Is everyone feeling the positive ions from the water and the stream? Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to pull it down now and drop out of it. Whew, that was almost overwhelming. It was like so relaxing. I felt like I was at the river's edge. Yeah. Okay, I'm up and running now. I got to make it through a whole night with that relaxation level. David unbanned you after I reminded you that you did all those rallies for him? Thank you. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the reason I unbanned him. I felt that, I give people second chances and third chances. A lot of trolls have converted over to our party. You know that, right? Wow, I'm really envious, Xenu. You're drinking 37-year-old rum. Gee, who wouldn't want to drink that incredible, yeah. I'm still looking for a 60-year-old bottle of Ballantine's, but I haven't found it for less than $40,000. Yes. But if you have a taste for that type of spirit, I don't drink, so I don't really know where you're coming from. Yeah, many of you are going down the road to alcoholism. Good luck with that. Once you're hooked for good. I've known a lot of alcoholics, and they always just give up. And hey, Judy Clark, the radical leftist and getaway driver in Deadly Brinks heist. Really, Judy Clark granted parole. Well, isn't that weird that Judy Clark is also the name of the famous defending attorney who got a lot of people off of the death penalty, like Jared Lee Loughner, but failed to get off the Tsarnaev, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev? Yeah, isn't that amazing? Different Judith Clark. This is a radical leftist and getaway driver in the deadly Brinks heist. Granted parole. There she is. Oh, she seems like a nice young lady now, or an older lady now. She should hang out with John Hinckley Jr., you know, at the retirement home in Maryland where he's taking care of his mom after putting two bullets in the president's chest. When Ronald Reagan was hit by John Hinckley Jr., I could never imagine him getting parole. She's got parole. Okay. Next. Beep. You hear that? That's the sound of freedom. A prop job going over my house spewing oil. I don't vote, no. Len's room, I'm so sorry. I gotta get out of there. No, I don't vote for those types of things, no. And I'd appreciate it if you would not come in the room and do that. Thank you. Oh, God, what is a... It's plot by the Illuminati, I know. Like, that guy's like in the crutch of the Illuminati. You know, I understand Glenn's been suffering from some diabetes-related illnesses. You know that kind of can trigger a lot of bad things. You should be careful, Glenn. Shouldn't overdo the soda. He's always famous for saying, "Mom, get me a soda." Apparently you got your soda all right. And then some. Yeah, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. I don't try to eat excessive sugar or salt. It's really bad for you, all that stuff. Yeah, in case you didn't know, sugar is the killer. If you want to live a long life, cut sugar out of your primary diet. You can eat a little of it as a kicker, you know. But in and of itself, it can overdose your body and make your cells deteriorate. A study done at the University of San Francisco proved, a gerontology study proved that sugar actually will break down your cell structure at twice the speed of just not sugar. So your immune system, your cell structures of all your body's cells are all partly related to, you know, how much sugar your system is digesting in the glucose cycle, the acetyl alcohol cycle. All that's connected. Sugars, alcohols, they're all connected to make bad things happen in your body. Now, some people believe that there's alcohol is a cure. There's the grape cure, which is thousands of years old. There's the juniper berry cure. But if you're down that road where you need to go to a cure like gin and half a fifth of gin a day, then you're not curing anything. The only cure will be death. A quick one, too. Your liver doesn't tell you when you're actually sick. There's no nerve endings in your liver. So when it finally goes kaput, you got 5 weeks to live. And your doctor says, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. Intoxicated SWAT detective arrested with machine gun and tactical gear. Wow. Hey, what happened to your what happened to your IP ability? You couldn't track me, huh? Wow. Gee, what happened? I went through my entire system last night and looked for any vulnerability. I did a lot of research till like 4 in the morning. And apparently all of our computers have a certain vulnerability. That's why you have to take defense against people tracking your IP. Even in a show like this, if we're just a chatter, our IP is evident to some people, unless we're running it through shielded means. Yeah. Good luck finding the IP this time. Yeah, I made some precautions. Hey, Alex Trebek, let's see if we can play 8 seconds of this guy without hitting the monetization requirements of YouTube.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and...
I'm sorry, but we can't play anymore because of the fact that it's just him telling us that he has pancreatic stage 4 cancer. And I don't want to belabor the point, but I think we all need to pray. I think the power of prayer is there. Now, you atheists, you don't have anyone to pray to. We're going to give you a fictitious imaginary being. Call it the imaginary number. So you atheists can pray to the imaginary number, okay? Anyone who believes in God can pray to God. You Luciferians, you can check out on this one. We don't need your prayers, all right? Well, like I said, just the imaginary number. Pray to the imaginary number, I. That's what mathematicians do. And it led to all these great things like calculus. We wouldn't even have gaming without the imaginary number. We could determine trajectories and map slopes and curves. Yeah, and it led to calculus. Thank you, imaginary number. I mean, for all of you atheists, I give you the imaginary number. It stands for I. That's right. Yes, you can not masturbate today as a way of atonement for your sins of being a non-believer. What happened to my bangs? Well, I was combing them the other day, and yeah, there they are. When I run my fingers through them, they kind of become defined, as you can see. Is that better? Okay. I'm trying to maintain the perfect coiffure. No meat Friday. Yeah, there you go. It's not Friday right now. I got bad news for you. They let these people, yeah, Mark actually pays them. I mean, what do you mean let them in the site, Andrew? Mark pays these people. They're good. They're well paid. I saw the ad that Lot Lizard picked out and to try to attack us. He pays these people a lot of money, like $6,000. Yeah, they're like sitting on tons of cash. Apparently, the people that are worried about the growth of this party are really evil bastards who run the world. And they've been watching my show, and they've been sitting kind of crapping in their pants. Right now, one of them has diarrhea because he can't seem to stop me. And he knows that the only way to stop me is to put a bullet in my head. And good luck with that. I'm a sharpshooter with excellent vision. So you take your chances when you try that number. You got offered $6,500, but you turned him down, bird caller. Well, I know it's hard for you guys to turn down the cash that they're offering you to censor me. But look at it this way. You won't be listed in the number of people who have felonies, multiple felonies. Yeah, you avoided a felony charge of possibly 30 to 50 years at Supermax. I'm not going to just sit back when I become president and ignore the fact that you people have been censoring me and violating my freedoms and my rights. We'll at least get a civil case going against you. I'm not sure how that'll play out, but we'll see. Did I get sunburn, or do I need to adjust the color? Oh, well, somebody said I was too pale the other night, so now I got to go back into the color range. So it's too red now? Is that what you're saying? How's that? Better? How's that? The tincture of blue or yellow. Is that better? Well, I don't want to talk about avocados out there. I heard that now they're adding avocados to the list of terms you use to describe human trafficking of children. Yeah, so we don't talk about avocados anymore. Yeah, I was made aware of that by the 4chan group that came in here the other night. Apparently it implies people who eat children and drain their blood of any adrenal glands and then use it as adrenochrome and inject themselves. And I promised myself I wasn't going to talk about people eating children tonight, so I don't want to discuss it. White House and Justice Department officials discussed Mueller report before its release. Oh yeah, well, why wouldn't Donald Trump be colluding here? It's the funniest thing. You just don't have a. You can't get my IP address. It must be frustrating for you people. Yeah, you had it the other couple days. You thought. Yeah, I noticed that's missing from your attack tonight. Oh, God, what a colluder this guy. This guy wrote a letter, 19-page letter, defending Michael Flynn, saying not to prosecute him. If we had listened and taken heed to this man's letter he wrote Rod Rosenstein before the investigation, we would still have Michael Flynn working for Russia as our national security advisor. So I contend that William Barr is working for Russia. All right? I can't prove it completely, but there's enough ancillary evidence to create a compelling argument to move forward. Yes. Move forward. Bounce ahead. Try to detect it. It's not too late to whip it into shape. Shape it up. Get straight. Go forward. Drag King asks you to what? That's very disturbing. You're not allowed to post disturbing words like that. Ancillary evidence is always good in a court case. I'm not an attorney, nor am I practicing law. I have to use those disclaimers every time I talk with big words. The Trump tards might think I'm a real attorney, which I'm not. I'm not like Michael Avenatti.
News today on the apparent death of the 18-year-old from Florida who was the subject of threats made to local schools and the cancellation of many of those schools today. Matt Krushel's been there for hours this morning. First brought you news of the discovery of her body from authorities. And Matt, let's start from the beginning. And I know there's a lot to tell here.
You know, Alan, we got here at about 9 o'clock this morning, and that is when the folks that started this whole search here from Clear Creek County and the FBI, they began their search in this area after tips led them here right off of Colorado 103, where the road is closed here in the...
Yeah. That woman is not 18 years old. Sorry. I don't know where these people are coming from. I don't believe it. That's a 40-year-old woman. That's not an 18-year-old. Come on. Who's kidding who? Boy, these people are really out to lunch. That's like people who think that Elon Musk is dating Grimes, which you got to wonder, is she even 20? And when did they start dating? When she was 12? I mean... yeah, she's not 32. There's no way that this woman is 32 years old. Look at this. Yeah, this just doesn't make sense. Well, let's be clear. Oh, I grabbed the wrong screen. Dang it. I feel like I'm in a dentist's office and I'm asking the hygienist for tools and utensils. Look at that. That girl is not 32 years old. Right. Just like that woman is not 18 years old. Oppositely, you know, she's a 40-year-old woman, and that's not a 32-year-old woman. All right, moving on. I don't want to fixate. Hot piece of ass, that broad? Well, all I'm telling you is she's gone, she's dead, or they got rid of her. Oh. In fact, sorry, but the Flowbee, this was not generated by a Flowbee. This is a natural hairdo that was derived from a product called shampoo. Dear Diary, day 8 of taking CBD oil. I took it in the morning this time. My stocks got destroyed today, but I remain calm. Super Saver. Well, it's all coming back to haunt you. All of you people who think you're in here making money, trying to attack our show, they're not going to be able to, scrape you off the pavement when the time comes. Your IP address, you can't seem to grab it. I don't know why. It's Ticken's fault. Ticken is now put on paid leave. Ticken time bags, I'm sorry, but you've earned at least a mute for allowing that. Now we're going to go back to the method that Sarah had. There we go. And Ticken time bags is going to wait 5 minutes before you can come in. Excuse me, but again, no body of this woman. If you want me to say it, I will, but that's a given in almost all these cases. Yeah.
Woods behind us. This is some video from earlier this morning as the SWAT teams from the FBI and Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office were starting to head out into the woods to begin their search. And then things quickly developed up here as we were kind of on the scene observing this thing here near the command post. The sheriff actually came out and confirmed for us that this was in fact linked to this massive manhunt for this suspect here in Colorado that had been going on for almost 20.
She's a woman. This woman hunt, not a man hunt. Come on. Really? It's a woman hunt. And the woman has been killed. There's no witnesses who can say that she's 40 years old. Hello, L96 Bolt. How are you? Welcome to the show. We are integrating your existence into our lineup. Beep. The irony, her name is Pai, and people were saying the name Pai yesterday multiple times. Found a connection, misanthropy. Well, isn't she, they were saying it because that was her name yesterday. This whole thing went down yesterday, dude. Earth to misanthropy. Hi, who are you? Candy Shine? I've never seen you. You're new here too. The Finnish Socialist Democratic Party only won by 0.2%. People don't like that. They don't like to be taxed. The Social Democrats are hitting people with 65% taxes in Sweden. Finland is not too far off with the 47%. Yeah. It is very close to Russia. David, what are the chances that women was CGI and the story was made up of the test some dystopian new technology? I think that's exactly what they did. It's called, can we revive every false flag or real terrorist attack that ever happened? Keep constantly fomenting fear among the people. They're doing a very good job of fear, distraction, intimidation, and division. Democrats versus Republicans, they keep dangling these stories of Donald Trump acting like a total freak in front of the stories of the Democrats going, we don't want to fund any protection for the border. It's just inappropriate for us to give any money for the fence. Nancy Pelosi is completely, almost the poster woman for, I guess, dare I say, Alzheimer's clinics around the country. I mean, somebody give her a cognitive exam. Thank you very much. Who am I to talk? I'm wearing a partial. These are 3D press-on veneers. I know. If you saw my real front teeth, you'd go, Dave, you could use a whitener. I do. I mean, I lost 50% of my enamel when I was a kid. They gave a lot of the kids of the 60s tetracycline, and it turns out it affected the enamel production in their teeth. So my dentist said, why are you missing 50% of your enamel? Because I had tetracycline as a kid? Hello? It is Wig Wednesday. Yes. Coming up at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, we will have... Oh, don't ever do this at home. Don't put a plastic bag over your head. Yeah, that's dangerous. But we had this wig last week. This was pretty nice. It made its appearance. I'm thinking I'm going to go with a wig below. Yeah, the tighter wig, more like my real hair. Your wisdom tooth is hurting like hell. You're going to have it removed. Ask your dentist. Well, anyway, apparently pharmacists are openly telling people that people in the Senate are asking for Alzheimer's medication. A lot of them are. I wouldn't doubt they're all drinking fluoridated tap water and going, I don't understand why I can't think about what to talk to the American people about. Nancy Pelosi's not quite 100%, you can tell. But she's doing a pretty good job. I give her an A for effort, don't you? Pretending to be, the Speaker of the House. Those sparks keep going off in your brain, and that's because you're actually still thinking. If you just saw a light in the show, that means your neurons are firing in your retina, and you are responding. But you're not quite ready to accept this as a future. So we're going to keep that quiet in the background. But that's where we're headed with the two-party system, is nuclear war. You can see how they simply don't want to stop Putin from creating weapons by offering an intermediate nuclear force treaty. You can see how Donald Trump has not mentioned anything about an intermediate nuclear force treaty. That's because Donald Trump is working for Putin. That's my point. And Putin wants more weapons, dangerous weapons. They've got this new torpedo system that they're going to fire at, take out our entire coastline. He threatened us with a missile that can go 27 times the speed of sound. And then we're still building up weapons, intermediate weapons. And now Kim Jong-un is building up intermediate weapons. It's just getting to be a feeding frenzy for the military-industrial complex, which is what this is all headed toward. Global nuclear conflagration. But in the meantime, check out the new Cannabis Burger by Carl's Jr. Isn't this cool? I'm going to do a special almost all the time. I'm working on specials after specials. Your mom threw that t-shirt away that said Trump 2020? Good. Well, you're not supposed to accept Trump. Trump is a joke. Trump supports a 5G network and doesn't want to endorse cannabis-infused burgers. Trump doesn't support legalization. I mean, why would you vote for Trump in 2020? I'm telling you, this Denver CBD burger is got to be amazing. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's debuting the cannabis-infused burger on 4/20, which is essentially Earth Day. The Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight will be topped with CBD-infused Santa Fe sauce and sold at one location in Denver for a single day. It'll cost $4.20. If the burger sells well, Carl's Jr. may consider expanding the test and selling CBD-infused burgers at more locations. I love it. Bring it on, Carl's Jr. You're awesome. I used to eat their salads at the salad bar. Man, I used to load up for, I think it was $3.99. You get a boat this big. It's like a big boat with sides on it. And I had this method where I would put peas and anything heavy at the bottom. I love salad bars. Yes, can I help you? Sure. Yeah. Are you a troll? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for calling. Tell me. A real person who wants to get activated chatter shut off. Thank you, sir. All right, later. Bye. Okay, we'll get back into it. We had a real request on our phone, which is 707 your ATP, to get the activated chatters completely operational or no longer activated. Here we go. Okay, hopefully that'll work. A real person wants to actually... Yeah, I don't believe 27 times the speed of sound it wouldn't burn up either, unless it's, of course, it's made out of titanium-borne outer structure, which is invincible to almost all temperature-related earthly norms. Titanium boron outer structure can withstand heats as high as 4,000 degrees. Here goes the troll train. I feel like the guy from Soul Train. Remember him? Don Cornelius? Soul Train. You've got the week, yeah. We've got, sure. The guy who just looks like every average troll in America. Don Cornelius was a real tough guy, but you know, in the end, they say that it may have been a drug deal that went bad.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, well, let me put myself in your shoes for a second, dude. He is like a total rock star, dude. I think I got a lot of money from YouTube, and I'm just totally cool about everything. Yeah, his mouth is really cool. I just wish I could make that mouth all the time. But as long as he doesn't talk about anything intelligent, he's going to be a really big YouTube star. But as soon as you start building a political movement, you get YouTube banned. But if you talk like this all the time, you'll be perfectly normal and be a big YouTube star like he is. That guy makes like 60 grand a year, minimum, if not more. Yeah, and here our show is completely shadow banned. It's been had a hit counter lock, a subscription counter lock for the past 9 years. You would donate a lot to him. Yeah. And here's Super Saver. He threatened my life 26 times that I counted. Said he was going to gut me like a fish. And now he says he sends money to that guy. You know, you're a piece of garbage and you're going to burn in hell. Later. In fact, I'm going to just mute you and ban you for a while. See how that feels. Watch the death threats come back. He claims he made $4 million threatening my life, and he brags about it in the show. Debbie, you heard conspiracy chemtrails killed Jackson and Luke Perry? Sorry, dude. You're mixing your conspiracy theories. It's very poor taste, especially in this room. We take our conspiracy theories seriously here. But here's a container wall that would only cost $1,000 and, or excuse me, $1 billion for 1,000 miles. Thank you. That's all it would cost. These things are $2,000 a piece. Sarah said, have you ever seen what they cost new? And I said, yeah, I have. Yeah, they're expensive. They're $47,000. Let's go to Mobile Mini and see what a 40-foot container is costing right now. You've probably seen Mobile Minis around your country, your area. It's pretty popular. These things are, they've got outlets all over the country. And they sell the new containers. They're really just old containers that have been fixed up. Yeah, well, we're not registered in Indiana as a write-in candidate yet. No. We've got time, though. Okay. Request a quote. I just want to, find out their price. I don't want to start a chat, get my quote. No, I don't want to send information. I just want a price. You see, that's the problem with these things. Anyway, back to the Cantos Burger. A definite win for Carl's Jr. Congratulations. We love you, Carl's Jr. Ivanka Trump says she passed on a World Bank job. This is the woman that H.R. McMaster called an idiot. Can you believe this? And she really thinks that she was going to get the job because her dad's really rich and very, very famous and he's got a lot of money. Bangalitis, you do that. Eat the burger for all of us and tell us what it was like. We'll be eating through you. Your taste buds will be activated with our chat room. I don't know why she's proud to be anybody at this point. I mean, going around claiming she passed up a world job at the World Bank is almost a joke. This is right at the time H.R. McMaster called her an idiot. I mean, it's not like he's a moron. He actually helped keep the president safe during this time period. Aside from the fact that she's very pretty, and I never called her an idiot, and I don't think it's right to call a woman an idiot. Well, I would love to schedule a rally, but you need a 4K TV set, and I can go on Skype with you. Interaction. Wow, that's kind of hard to take those calls. She's delusional, you can tell by the way she looks. Yeah, maybe, but she's still very beautiful, and she has a lot of natural poise. I would give her high marks on poise and etiquette, wouldn't you? I mean, to look at the woman from her perspective, she's got a tough position. I mean, working as an advisor to the president, an unpaid advisor, I might add. I'm not going to belittle her like H.R. McMaster did when he called her an idiot. If Ivanka and Donald want to run together, he could take her on as a VP. Yeah. But if her dad offered me the VP position, and she was just kind enough to talk to Sarah and befriend her, I know Sarah would love to meet Ivanka. Yeah. H.R. McMaster is former chief of staff. Yeah, you probably don't remember him. There's been a lot of change-ups. Or was it? No, National Security Advisor. Thank you. Yeah, it's been like revolving chairs at the White House. What did he fire? 40 people, or at least 40 people? Scaramucci said that Donald Trump just likes to lie. He thinks it's fun. Well, I'm just saying that she's a beautiful woman, and there's no reason to doubt her. If she was offered a job at the World Bank, by all means, no problem. But moving on. Chris Cornell. Thank you. I was talking about Don Cornelius, and now I'm talking about Chris Cornell. Cornell actually is getting a lot of references from his. You thought that was funny? getting a lot of references from his fan base. They want his name to depict that fake black hole they just stuck in front of us. So I think they should call it the cornhole. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? The black hole picture has already been duplicated in Photoshop. Everybody was laughing because they saw NASA interview on a TED Talk. A year and a half ago, TED Talk did a show showing how this exact picture was used in a simulation. And now NASA's saying it's a real picture. I think we should call it the cornhole. What do you think? You like that? The Chris Cornhole. Whoops. You're still talking about H.R. McMaster? That's like chat up close and personal. Anyway, I think we should just leave this whole subject because I believe that Chris Cornell was probably killed for wanting to expose pedophile rings in America. His close friend, Chester Bennington, both died the same way, and I have yet to see any autopsy photographs that are compelling to believe that either one of them committed suicide. And personally, I will face off with the rank and file of every prosecutor and every investigating officer in every single division of the FBI. One-on-one, I will have a conversation when I'm president and asking them why they sat there and did nothing to investigate these bizarre and strange deaths. Same with Anthony Bourdain. He recently, Anthony Bourdain, we did a study on him, and I'm going to be doing a piece for 153news.net. Anthony Bourdain actually had $14 billion in assets before he died. After he died, he had 1.5, did I say billion? I'm sorry, million. He had $14 million in assets, and after he died, he had $1.5 million. So he lost $12.5 million. Thank you. Where did that money go? Crisp Cornhole. Great name for absolutely, a great name for a black hole that all of us have been kind of, shafted with. And I'm not making up puns, man. I'm telling you, this is not a real black hole. It's not. That's BS. No way. It's about as much of a black hole as, it just isn't. For one, even if this was a depth configuration with a histogram and a reverse inverted image it was created, it would still be dark, not white and black. Black holes are dark. I mean, excuse me, but am I the only one who's stating the obvious here that this is a black hole that's light? I mean, look at this thing. You can see it. Black holes, you don't see black holes, man. All right, I'm just telling you. So we'll just forget the whole subject. Dave, remember this is the annual false flag season. I know. Well, they just brought up the whole, Colorado Columbine situation with that woman who clearly looks like a 40-year-old. Let's get back to the healing meditation. The relaxing sounds of nature. It is calming to be outside, isn't it? So y'all saying that black holes pulled in the light? So you're saying the black hole's been sucking all kinds of other stars like the sun, and that's why it's emitting light? That's the biggest crock of crap I've ever seen. Hey, Add the One, welcome. The song Black Hole Sun is about the Antichrist. I know. And that's exactly what Chris Cornell was referring to when he was killed. I just don't believe Chris Cornell took his own life, nor do I believe that Chester Bennington did. They both looked really happy the day they died. Or at least Chester Bennington did. Well, I want to use her hammock too, but we need a really comfy place. I've told Sarah I think I'm going to take her to the Redwoods, and we'll use the hammock between two redwoods. Oh, okay. We'll use it in the backyard. Okay. Not right now because I have a show to do, but I think a Sunday would be kind of cool, or a Saturday, We could experiment. I'll construct the bulletproof wall around it so we can, just go out there. We do have a name for the black hole. We're not going to call it cornhole after all. Call it the national debt. You hear that sucking sound? That's our equity being sucked into the World Bank. And I'm trying to sound like Ross Perot. That's pretty funny, man. You actually got me thinking about it. Eric Stallwell says he's open to jailing gun owners. What's wrong with these people? Uh-oh, Mr. Bill. I'm a supporter of gun rights, and if we really have to deal with a dangerous hostile takeover from Russia, I want everyone in America to know that I definitely want your guns to be in your pockets, prepared to fight for this nation. Because, frankly, it does look like we're being cornholed as a nation. Russia has taken over the administration. William Barr clearly working for Russia. Yeah, I'm going to bring in a new version of my total collusion, because I remember I did get rid of it in a fit of relish jage. And it's important to yeah, get the spelling right. That's important. Let's put a nice tinge around it. Green, because it's all about money. Yellow, because it's a warning sign. And then thick. I'm going to go with dark green. There we go. I don't like the yellow. Russia, red. Yes, it's all about red. Thank you. Yeah, the whole thing should be red for Russia. That's crack Johnny. I don't like that. Glockenspiel. Ja, the Glockenspiel wird be gut. Total collusion, everybody. Dun da da da. Dun da da da. Total collusion in our government right now. Thank you. That's going to piss a lot of people about right now. Republicans are going, Dave, it's no collusion, man. All right. Hey, thank you for not spamming me. You guys made a lot of money tonight. I'm sure you made like 50, 60 grand combined just spamming us at that speed. I'm against what you're doing. I feel that you're violating laws left and right, and I will prosecute all of you who did that. You know, I don't think they have black hole bombs, but I do believe that they have EMP bombs. I know that North Korea has one they don't want to talk about. And Putin knows about North Korea's nuclear program, but he doesn't want to talk about it. And Trump doesn't want to talk about nuclear. He said he believes Putin that they don't have any nuclear weapons. Can you believe our president doesn't believe that North Korea has nuclear weapons? I just find that hard to believe. I did prosecute him, but Tickin' Time Bags wants to be, whipped with a wet banana or something. A wet banana peel. Okay, that'll be your punishment. Back in 2002, I read about the black hole bomb. Can't find it anymore. Yeah, it's top secret. There is a lot of stories about bombs that are very big, cobalt bombs. That may not have actually been built, but they say the cobalt bomb could fracture the Earth's surface 100 to 200 feet down. It's like, boom. Yeah. But an EMP is something that is very real and could very well blast into our system. We could be hit with an EMP. If we did get hit with an EMP, we would be dealing with ultimately I'd say at least a 15-month down cycle. They say it could drop us back to 1880. I'd say that's a kind way of looking at it, 15 months. But we're going to be going back to the dark ages if we get hit with an EMP. And those are out there. But the good news is some of you can just graze on the grass. Yeah, you won't have to worry about much. There won't be any food aid because this is my idea, and since I'm not president, there won't be anybody dropping packages of food and water when you're starving to death. Just so you know. That's the downside of not voting for a third party.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a break.
Wait a s-
I started running a bath,
Oh, really?
but it's still filling up.
Okay, Sarah's going to take a quick break. I'm going to have a little dinner, and you guys can visit with her while she gets ready for her evening. Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I can take a break. I can take a bath later. Okay.
Did you put bubbles in it?
Yep,
Good.
I did. And Epsom salt. Destroy the big three religions and save the world from the end. Okay. Welcome, prepper. I know neither are you. Wait, you're the anti-Antichrist? You're here to start it, whatever acid reflux is? Microwave oven is an EMP device that wreaks hell on your Wi-Fi. All microwaves? They say... Oh, my shirt reminds you of a bird. They say that to test a microwave, you put a phone in like a cell phone inside a microwave and call it with another cell phone. And if it's a good microwave, then you shouldn't be able to hear it, because it should have shields around it that prevent the signals from getting in or out. How often do I clean my car? Outside of my car, David cleans it pretty much every week. Inside my car, I clean it maybe every 3 weeks. But I don't have too much inside my car. In some ways, I clean my car every day because I take out whatever I put in almost every day. Oh no, misanthropy. No, Ben Franken Taylor, I would never do that. Oh, modern survival blog. If an EMP happens, you can use your microwave as a Faraday cage. It's not an EMP, it's the opposite. It's a radio frequency generator? Okay. Yeah, even so, I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. But then I have found out that I'm a very, you know, that whole, there's 4 things that happens when you flip your lid or you get fearful or you get angry, and it's fight, freeze, fight, flight, freeze, or appease. My thing would be, oh yeah, David takes shower like 2 or 3 times a day. My thing is freeze. I usually freeze, so I can process everything. I know. Well, I've always said I think you're similar to David. You shower twice a day. I know, you guys do have a lot in common. The magnetron generates microwave radio frequency. Okay. Doctor question mark with the kind of education or the kind of commentary instead of education, kind of commentary you hear in the chat room. You wonder how many people were authorized to leave preschool. Well, that's the thing, their parents didn't enroll them in the first place. Okay, good to know, Daddy Mark. Well, stop eating spicy food, Ben. I don't know the answer to your question, Zeno. I don't know. What are you referring to, Daddy Mark? Oh, you're in the other country that's colluding with our country, Russia? Oh, is it that? Maybe. There's the high voltage coil in the microwave. It's a trip, but all electricity is nothing but hertz, even light. Or all energy is nothing but hertz, even light. Wow, that's interesting. They just call it, it's energy by any other name would be a hertz. That's pretty cool. Total hotness. I know it doesn't seem like. How about that? How about just changing it to that? That sounds like a good idea to me. Okay. Yeah, it's just a system of measures. It's like inches versus centimeters. I have not seen maxed out credit in a day or two. True conservative for life. RuneScape, Drag King. No. It's definitely RuneScape. I also, it's a role-playing game. It's a massive online multiplayer online role-playing game. Yeah. Well, my mom wanted to know what my brother and sister were playing when they were in school. Well, she was like trying to be an active mom and trying to like make sure that they weren't playing something inappropriate, and then she got hooked. Okay, prepper, sorry. Data, yes. Don't need to use your data. Come back when David's on. Sorry, Bangalitis, no. Yeah, I hope maxed out credit's okay. I know he had to have his colonoscopy and he was recovering from that. And he had a lot of medication that he takes. You've seen stars move, then turn 90 degrees, then disappear. You sure they're stars? Maybe they're satellites. Well, it's preventative bannable offense so that something else worse doesn't happen. Humble monthly bundle. $12, you get 6+ good games a month. If I played games, I would consider doing that. Hello, I am well. How are you? Have you fixed your grill? I used to play games, but I don't have time to do that. And even if I did have time, that's probably not what I would do. Conservative for Life's only game that she knows about is Minecraft. Yeah, kids do like that one in middle school.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, I'm gonna go take a bath.
Yeah, enjoy. Have a great bath. I left the water running for you. Thank you, Sarah. Awesome. All right, yeah, there they are. Everybody's there. Okay. I can't believe that battery's still working. It's amazing. Coming up at 9 o'clock, you'll have to remind me, I'll be wearing a wig at 9. I have not heard of the open source of Minecraft, no. It's called Mindtest.net, honey. Sarah? Okay. Well, I'll have to write that down. You should have got her when she was in. Yes. Yeah, the lighting is pretty bad in here. It's harsh. I try to minimize the retinal damage due to the blue light coming from the screen. I've got a variety of glasses I can use to knock out the blue light. Believe it or not, if you continue staring at your tablet your entire life, you'll have macular degeneration at the age of 50. So I urge you to wear some sort of sun protection or eye protection. Yeah. Yes. Next question. So mindtest.net. I will tell her. She'll like to hear that. And she has family members that like Minecraft, so thank you. And thanks for sharing. Mr. Smith. Mr. Anderson. It seems that the human race is altered, Mr. Anderson. You mindlessly believe in Zion, Mr. Anderson. Foolhardily. Many of you believe in a Zionist. Are you Zionists? Do we have some Zionists in the room? I won't ban you if you press 1. Go ahead. Press 1. Mr. Smith. I don't think we have any Zionists in here. Most people are just so anti-Zion now. It's got a bad name. I mean, they've altered the Wikipedia. They've put together a fusion project with our government. ADL has. They simply want to, attack people, and then they want to fund our elections with huge amounts of money. Politics is controlled by the AIPAC, Super PAC. It's one of the biggest PACs out there, AIPAC, the American Israeli Political Affairs Committee. I thought they were Political Action Committee, and I found out that their real name is Political Affairs Committee. So I'm not sure if they're complying with McCain-Feingold law, but I have to talk to the FPC about that. And those women are a pain in the ass to talk to. They're like a couple of old Jewish women. Hello, can I help you? How may I help you at the FPC? And they're making like $150,000 a year. Hello, I'd like to talk about a question I have about election law. Well, of course you do. Why else would you be calling? Go ahead, talk, tell me. It's kind of like a Yetta thing, yeah. They're all feeling verklempt, and they make $150,000 a year. It's unreal. And they don't do anything. Our laws are tilted against a minor party. It's unbelievable. Anyway, again, I leave this out there so that you know that we could build this fence. And as the immigrant problem metastasizes due to Donald Trump's incompetence and mishandling of the border, all the while we could have had a container fence. And I'll be keeping this on the screen for quite a long time. I don't dye my hair. It's actually a colorant. Yes. I read all the chat. I do. Here is a headline you don't see every day. A Phoenix couple is accused of forcing a day laborer at gunpoint to have sex with his wife. So he goes to Home Depot and gets a day laborer say, I got some cleanup in my yard, man. And then his wife has some sort of a fantasy about being attacked by an illegal alien. You know, I think there's other places you could go with your interest. Maybe go to a Star Trek convention or something, you know. It's something to break out of the mold. Dress up like Darth Vader. Phoenix PD, couple forces victim at gunpoint to have sex with female suspect. Oh, so apparently they picked up, yeah. At her house, Aguero reportedly told the man that it was her fantasy to have sex with a laborer. Oh, man. The victim initially thought he was teasing, but when he realized she wasn't, he refused to request. Wow. Somber music. At that point, police say the woman's husband, Jorge Francisco Valenzuela, came into the room with a rifle. Very jealous man, yeah. Valenzuela immediately the man and told him that he was going to have sex with his wife or he would shoot him. Are they selling me a phone plan right now? The victim had sex with Aguilera as Valenzuela, I can't even read it, took the pictures. They're just messing with our mind. He also allegedly directed the victim to different sexual positions. Well, I think I've heard enough exploitation of day laborers. Another reason not to come into America. Be forced to have sex with somebody. God, can you imagine? Can you imagine what that feels like? Representative Shia gives an update on LTPS. Transparency in medical billing and presidential tax returns. Well, gosh, who doesn't want to hear about that? That came right out of the blue. Oh, you're going to listen to DJ Premier? Okay, dude. Take it easy. Vinyl Sniffer. Dave. ABC News. Get your title back with Title Max? Well, if you want it, you got it. Total collusion, everybody, just to piss off you supporters of Donald Trump. Yeah. I couldn't keep that off the screen. Yeah, yes, most people have gray hair, but you know, I am not lying. I use a colorant. I told you that. My goodness. If I was in the show without any preparation, it would almost be as if there was no one here to spruce me up. Do you realize how difficult it is to be an old man and be treated like some sort of an animal, when really my face could easily look like this? But no, I take extra precaution. I do whatever I can with liposuction, Botox, and I believe everything looks so much better now. Aligning ear. There we go. You see, most of you wouldn't realize what a billionaire was or a trillionaire. You have no idea. But through the miracle of modern inventions, an old person can look young again. And you say that's a bad thing. I say, bully for you. At least I have hair. Hair, beautiful hair, long-standing hair. Bob's Trailer, what's going on, man? Autistic man wins $2.6 million lawsuit against CIA. Linked doctor accused of training him to be a killer. Are you serious? Man, I heard the FBI was like pulling a bunch of retards off to the side and like grooming them for terrorist attacks. It's just a rumor. I can't verify it. Don't send Devin Nunes after me. A Pierce County jury has awarded $2.1 million to the family of an autistic man who sued his discredited neuropsychiatrist over treatment, saying the now dead doctor tried to erase part of their son's brain and turn him into a trained killer. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of Stephen Drummond, age 30, of Spokane. He was not present when the verdict was announced Friday, but his mother, Jeannie Drummond, called it very fair and reasonable. There's no amount of money that can make up for his losses, she said. The attorney representing the estate of Gig Harbor neuropsychiatrist Donald Dudley, who died in October, declined comment. So this guy experimented on him to turn him into a trained killer, as if he's like he was one of the contracted doctors the MK Ultra program was soliciting. This is like an opening into the secret world. We just saw a glimpse of what's really happening. You know, I wonder if the Tsarnaev brothers have actually, one died, of course, and the other one's facing the death penalty in Massachusetts. But I wonder if they weren't groomed the same way, because their mother said that the FBI was at their house almost all the time 2 years prior. That was her testimony. But she never made it fully official because she was hiding from the extradition issues against her. Ben, you're becoming a screamingly irrelevant person in the show. Yeah, try to work on your brain power. Your neuropeptides are not working fast enough. You have to maintain at least a good clip and good conversation to remain in here. Otherwise, we will ban you for being boring.
You are a traveler. Sometimes a jet setter, other times a tourist, but always, always moving.
That's a commercial. I don't do commercials. Man in custody after trying to enter St. Patrick's Cathedral with 2 gasoline cans. And they trick you into playing that video. Midtown Manhattan, a 37-year-old New Jersey man attempted to enter St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan with 2 gas cans Wednesday. It's like a copycat. Church ushers stopped the man, and nearby officers and NYPD Critical Response Command took him into custody. No one was injured. Well, I don't know. That might have been real. That sounds like a copycat attack. Yeah, some of these events really are real. I mean, I'm not one of those people that believes everything's fake. Hey, yeah, when you see my link, man. Okay.
When life makes you a...
Yeah, you got the same link over and over again. AIPAC, exposed. 5 times AIPAC got caught controlling American politics. Misanthropy, good one.
When Representative Ilhan Omar suggested U.S. politicians are influenced by financial pressure from the American Israel lobby AIPAC, she was smeared by Democrats and Republicans as anti-Semitic. The truth is, she wasn't being anti-Semitic, she was stating a fact. Here's 5 times AIPAC insiders got caught admitting how they control American politics with money.
Excellent. Love it. I like it. That'll be good. Thanks. I put it in the lineup. Mucho apreciado, senor. Gracias. De nada. You asked yourself tonight what my purpose on this planet was, and you have acid reflux. Well, if you're talking to yourself, that's a good sign. You're not completely shutting out the real world. But it is a sign of psychosis, just so you know. I have seen a lot of things in the future. What would you like to talk about? We're trying to prepare for your safety here with a container fence. I mean, I'm on your side, guys. City attorney demands $60,000 from residents for the case he won. It's unconscionable that he's facing crippling fees after successfully fighting back. Wow. This is one of those cases where a guy fights City Hall and then they bill him for the legal fees. And he beats them, but they still bill him for the legal fees. Wow. California man is fighting an unconstitutional receivership scheme in which his city employs a private law firm to prosecute property code violations that then collects fees from the homeowner, even if the homeowner wins the case. Man, Ron Mooger, defended by the Institute for Justice, they're good guys, resolved numerous code violations that put his property in receivership. He passed inspection and a court vacated the receivership. A victory for Mooger? Not so fast, said the city and its for-profit prosecutors. They filed a motion with the court to be declared the prevailing party. And Mooger must now pay the law firm $60,000 in attorney fees. How can they be declared the prevailing party when they lost? Norco's receivership scheme is unconstitutional, said Jeffrey blah, blah, blah. Okay, we read enough of that. Thank you. Please don't duplicate the screen and try to print it. Yeah, you're not allowed to counterfeit money. That's right. People probably hitting the freeze on their computer and trying, print screen. I'm sure you've seen a $100 bill before. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to get even $1 in Africa. Some people work all day long just to make up enough money to take in some cooking oil. Yeah. It's like $1 of cooking oil. Apparently it's cheaper. Oil is cheaper because it's low grade. Whereas in America, you can get really good oil. You get crappy oil in Africa, and they work all day for that one jar of oil. Isn't that really messed up? Or do you even care? I guess not. Just thought I'd ask. Thanks. Use motor oil to cook. Well, what about that oil that they're making out of gutter oil? Yeah, I'm not going to play you more than a little bit of this, but Wednesday we talk about gutter oil, and there's a big viral video that I'll play later tonight. How gutter oil is made, the making of gutter oil. The original one is 2 minutes and 39 seconds, but they take oil from the sewers in China and they refine it and drain it and filter it until it becomes oil they can cook with.
What others might view as revolting, she sees as a bonanza. She works in the streets of the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Recycled cooking oil. Workers put the oil in barrels for delivery to restaurants, and most of it winds up in hole-in-the-wall restaurants.
All right, I think we got the gist of it. See how quick I can get through a complete video? Less than 10 seconds. It's phenomenal. I'm going to do that more often. I'm adding that gutter oil video to your list. Yeah, they're literally cooking out of the gutter oil that comes out of the sewer. It's so pathetic. I showed you pictures last night of the slums of Manila. We are living in heaven here, and they're trying to control our country so they can use us as the police force around the world and still deny people opportunity in other countries to have a decent life. If I were the leader in a country like the Philippines, I would provide a safe haven for everybody in a neighborhood. And I would completely clean the entire neighborhood out and drop containers everywhere and make container villages. And everyone would have decent places to live, or provide a container village nearby and have everyone migrate to it until there was no one left in the ghetto, and then offer the people in the ghetto safe haven, and then just wipe the ghetto clean. And I'm talking about, massive amounts of recycling, but we're letting these places infest and the world become like a sore. For a species, we're behaving horribly to our own people. So there's something very wrong with that scenario. Vomiting is good. That's nice. Oh yeah, Peru's former president kills himself ahead of arrest. Alan Garcia.
Nigger.
What? Muy Boyle. Let me make a note of that. I'll try to work on that tonight. Thank you. Well, there you have it, folks. We have to do little editing sessions sometimes in our show. Sorry that happened. Somebody sent me a fake link. Misanthropy.
Hello, I am from the British government with a fabulous announcement. No, I'm sorry, we still haven't sorted out this bleeding shit show. But we have finally managed to arrest our most wanted criminal. No, the other one. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Once we're done, we'll extradite his skippy ass off to Virginia to face a grand jury. Cause we're America's bitch. Yeah, baby. We'd like to thank all who aided us in this operation, especially the Ecuadorian government.
Hola, I'm from the Ecuadorian government, and I'm here to confirm that our new president is America's bitch too. That is why he agreed to cancel Harry Hacker's political asylum and let pigs enter our embassy to arrest him.
This is lots of information, too much. I've got to process this, my brain power is too tapped into tonight. I did not eat enough frijoles to discuss this matter. It takes energy to think. We'll play that later tonight. Thank you for that link about honest government. That's very good. I love the tongue-in-cheek sarcasm. It's working for me. It is. It really makes me feel good. A couple things came into the show tonight. Yeah, North Korea test fired a new tactical guided weapon, so more people are, more people are considering the dangers being posed by North Korea. Again, this dialogue is kind of a joke. Vladimir Putin orchestrated the entire meeting with Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un the first time. And then later in Hanoi, that was orchestrated as well by Lavrov, the foreign minister. They lured Kim Jong-un in with a deal that he was going to get 900,000 bottles of vodka. And then Lavrov turned him in, I believe, at that location. And it basically went completely upside down for North Korea. And now he's upset. But you notice how he doesn't mention it's a nuclear weapon. So North Korea is being very careful. I think they were pulled in by Russia and they said, Vladimir Putin says you don't have nuclear weapons. You don't have nuclear weapons. Do you understand me, Kim Jong-un? Wake up. We own your ass. Now, that's assuming there is collusion at all levels. Gorbachev is pulling North Korea's strings, yes. This is almost fact. Look at the way that North Korea didn't come to the table with denuclearization plans. Donald Trump couldn't even pronounce the word denuclearization. He called it the big word. You know, we're going to do that big word thing. Seriously. I wish I was kidding. No, Ecuador is no problemo. Venezuela is muy problemo. People are suffering in Venezuela. They are. I wish we could get food aid to Venezuela, but Maduro doesn't want to allow anything in through roads. So we have but one option, the option of airdrops. And I would recommend an airdrop, nice, quiet, pastoral, food aid floating on my head. I'd love to get people the kind of food they can use in times of need like this. It's getting worse for the people in Venezuela. It really is. And I think we have to think about their plight. I wish I had some somber music. Maybe I have something in my library.
This is Virtual Interactive Chat with David Sponheim.
Oh, and if my feelings start to pressure you, it's alright.
Politically!
I will give you time.
This is your chance to speak out and make a difference.
Gonna make you feel good. Gonna make you feel good. Gonna make you mine.
Okay, you've entered the feel-good phase of the Wednesday Wasteful Show, where people get what they want, food that gets delivered, and everyone gets $500 a month if they're currently not receiving any money from disability or Social Security. Welcome to the future of America under my leadership. You like that? Where we can start to unite in the middle of the political spectrum. Bridge the divide between the left and the right. Yes, that's what we're hoping for here. Bill has nerve issues. Really?
You really have an amazing. Do you have a photographic memory?
A what? A photographic memory? No. Yeah. But I don't have anything like a photographic memory, especially when I'm tired. I do remember your name, but it might fade before I'm done here.
So, do you ever check out from reading the news at all? Like, do you take a weekend or a week off and say, I just don't want to?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and especially,
I agree. It doesn't seem like it's going away, though.
Do better. And the only thing that really works is something that's people-based and other-oriented. And if you don't reward that in politics, you're not going to get very good results.
We're talking about politics. Is there anybody that you
think it's...
Yeah, I think he's got a little palsy in his hand. That's totally normal for a guy his age. My goodness. I hope he's on CBD oil, but I don't know. Bingo. Bingo. CBD oil will help him. Yeah, definitely. 8:30. Yes. Isn't Ecuador one of the countries the refugees are coming from? No, we talked about that a while back. All right, so we've got that to work on. I don't think $500 a month is something we should, just ignore. It's going to cost our government a little bit of money, but I think we got it in the budget. I think we can work it in. I have great confidence that we'll be able to pay for a 1,000-mile container fence with $1 billion, and it'll be a good deal for everybody. But again, how do we do that if we have no power? And we have a president taking my ideas and unable to actually implement them. Introducing the stump. Introducing the stump. I would definitely going to close the border. No, I'm not going to close the border until a year from now. Meanwhile, the price of avocados spikes. Boing. Yeah. Well, Trump just doesn't have what it takes to carry through on ideas, and he's not a flexible thinker. One thing we can verify from Trump is he's not quick on his feet when it comes to responding to allegations. Like, did you pay Stormy Daniels hush money? No, I never did that. And then later, Giuliani and Michael Cohen said he did. I'm just making you suffer because you made $4 million threatening my life. You think that's something that I should just not care about? Then you tell me of the audacity to come in and say you make donations to people who are who come onto our who are YouTube AdSense whores. Come on, man. You don't deserve to be in here. Hey, hi, Dave's #1 fans here. Hey, how are you? Astrid. Astrid, please don't talk that way. That's inappropriate. There's no sex talk allowed here, Astrid. Please, I have to mute Astrid. And she's got a beautiful voice. Have you heard her? Man, she has one of the best voices out there. I heard her rendition of, Jolene. And here's just a simple sample of Astrid. That's her. That's all you get. She's a very high voice. Oh, you can't, it's not, yeah. You get taxed. This is not tax deferral time. Thanks for donating when you did, though. We're still holding on to that money to help pay for our server time and all these special, tools that we need to do the show now. I'm getting DDoS, doxed. You wouldn't believe it. I've got a backbone of security running in a parallel world on the intranet. Out here in the perimeter, we is stoned immaculate. Out here in the perimeter, we is stoned immaculate.
I'm telling you, you're going to see an uprising in this nation.
He's telling us. Well, this is about as close as white people get to an uprising. Excuse me, fruit spray. Thank you. Oh, that's so invigorating. I love it. It's like a day spa in a bottle. It's amazing. It'll be sold someday in the future for millions of dollars. This product will be rare. People will look for it for far and wide to find the famous fruit spray. Okay, so bannable offense, you're stepping out of your box. Remember, focus on politics. Jeez, you trolls. You go back to sex humor all the time. What is with you? There's nothing there. And when you think about it, you probably won't get any the way you act. Unless, of course, you're rapists. Yeah. I just finished watching a show about a rapist. It was Broadchurch. It was on Netflix. Pretty intense. David, I could have with any woman I never want because, oh, see? We got a rapist in the room. Look at this. It's unbelievable. I flushed you out. Unbelievable. See, and the thing about these people who are perverts, they brag about it in chat rooms. It's like it's like troll candy. You just keep talking about their perversions. They come out of the woodwork because they want to normalize their deviant behavior. Oh, really? Oh, a religious guy says that? Okay, well, whatever. I don't really care. It's not important to me. ISIS fanatics warn of a future attack on fire-ravaged Notre Dame on an online poster depicting the cathedral up in flames once more. So, you know how these stories are either concocted by the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service? But ISIS fanatics implies something like a dangerous organization that is terrorist, warns of a future attack on a fire-ravaged. A jihadist media group published the image next to a warning, wait for the next. Is this the organization that the government hired to fake the green screen events in Paris as well? I don't know. Yeah, more menacing. You see that they're fomenting the constant fear that's so prevalent in the world today. And it's starting a fire. They could have used, lacquer in a cigarette butt. Could have started this fire. It's ridiculous. 5G Apocalypse documentary. Yeah, we played that last night. You want to do another one tonight? Where were you? That is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. I'll play it again tonight. No, that's okay. No, I'll put it on the bottom of it's worth watching again. It really is. I would watch it again that's not a problem. I appreciate the effort though. I was completely made aware of the dangers of the 5G network a long, long time ago, but that really was a good comprehensive coverage. And now more on this woman, the supposed woman infatuated with Columbine, connected to Colorado school threats, found dead. A source says, yes.
From Columbine and this chick here, boy, they really are screwing up their script with these stories, and I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. With everything that they come with these stories, especially some 18-year-old from Florida, of course. I just got done talking about how Columbine and Florida are a comparison shooting, but she just happened to come from Florida to Columbine. They closed the school down, yada, yada, yada. But here's where it gets really stupid. Right here. God, they really screwed this script up. 18-year-old from Florida. 18, huh? She looks more like she's 25, though.
I'm going to say 40. I like the way this guy is going forward with this concept. Okay, I'll add that to our link tonight because I want to see the rest of it at 10 o'clock. Coming up in 12 minutes, I will be putting on a wig. That's exciting. I've been looking forward all day long to this moment. The look of a wig. This is my real hair, so you'll have to put up with this. It's just the, out of the shower look. Oh, she looks 30-ish. Okay, I'll go 30. If you don't mind. I'm just sorting through some photographs. Hang on. Representative Shia gives an update on LCFS. Let's see what that is.
Give us an update on low carbon fuel standards and crude by rail legislation.
So low carbon fuel standard, this is the bill that would in effect add about 20 cents to a gallon of gasoline. That's really running out of political steam right now. There's not a lot of effort in the Senate to continue pushing that forward based on some comments made recently. And I think that's to the great benefit of a lot of people for Eastern Washington. On top of that, crude by rail comes through Spokane Valley. And there is a push to have a 9 psi standard or vapor pressure standard.
Oh, wake me up when the cap and trade carbon legislation Democrats and Republicans go to bed. Please don't come in here. You are not invited. We don't allow Trump, Michelle Obama supporters. No. Were you the same Barney Frank supporters that were coming in here 3 years ago? I remember Barney Frank was going to run for president in 2020. Barney Frank. No, that wasn't a real, that's just a hoax. Global warming is a hoax. Global cooling is definitely happening. But the problem with global warming as a hoax is you're forgetting that we're being dumped on with chemtrails. Let me put this in kind of a nuclear perspective. Okay? Yeah, so you'll see the end product is a global nuclear war. Yeah, I just didn't want to scare you. Sure. But take these chemtrails, for instance. This is what's really happening, not cap and trade. We're talking dumps of chemicals being put on our skies by global elitists who just literally are hosing us with chemicals. I'm amazed any of you could even understand a word I say. Frankly, your neurons are being bounced around with heavy metals, strontium, selenium, aluminum, barium. And most of us are so polluted we don't even know what's going on. You're probably drinking too to deal with all the carbon pollution in your body. I understand it helps to have a little alcohol in your systems, in case you're wondering. What, are you kidding? I'll tell you, I get no respect. Just the other day, my wife tells me my cryogenics money is running out. I should be. The thing is, I'm not funny enough to be a comedian. I'm a humorist. Yeah, I'm not really that funny. I'm kind of scary funny. Kind of like, really? I never thought that would happen kind of funny. Like, whoa. Almost tragic funny. I call myself a sit-down humorist as opposed to a stand-up comic. This way I would avoid hemorrhoids or anything, you know. Well, you should be laughing. You're probably laughing all the way to the bank when you received all that money from Mark. I know we've got a lot of people converted over from being trolls. You come in here in your off time because you like the show. You didn't realize the guy really has something to say. Yeah. Mind unblocking us. Oh no. Ubisoft. Oh, so Ubisoft is offering Assassin's Creed Unity for free so you can see the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is represented inside the game. And they also pledge £500,000 to restoration works. Yeah, well, Alex Soros, George Soros' relative, was supposedly funding collateral funding for the repair as well with another investor. And you got to wonder why they want to spend all that money on construction. Well, maybe they're getting grants. Maybe it's a good way to fleece the government. That's why they burned it down. Hey, thanks, Time Pilot. Thank you for coming in, and welcome to the post-apocalyptic show. If you are hearing this, it is because I am in default mode. The current operational speed has been reduced due to trim energy and prepare for the future. Mikhail Gorbachev is here talking to me now. You know, I can't talk to you here. That would be Russian, a violation of our Logan Act. In fact, I can't talk to you anywhere. And stop pretending to be Mr. Gorbachev, please. It could not be possible. Boom, 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 boom. Danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. So what's the process of having an incompetent president? And how long does it take to reach the end game, which is global nuclear conflagration? Well, having Donald Trump in place gives Mr. Putin the ability to lead in the intermediate nuclear force capability, which gives him the edge in the initial strike, which would devastate most of America, leaving Russia intact. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that our leaders in the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI aren't on it. and realizing there's a breach in command. Yeah. He's taken root. The stump has taken root. When we look at Donald Trump's activities in the White House, we have a giant hole, a gap in our government. Because Donald Trump, and this is going to shock you, but Donald Trump has a cell phone. Dun da da da. Dun da da da. And he's secretly calling whoever he wants. I know. And we don't know if he's calling Vladimir Putin. I would never fly. I hope I would never have to even deal with that. I can't fly. Not that I want to. I'm sure I could get on a plane right now and take off. They wouldn't stop me. I'm not on any list. No, I just can't. Because navigation systems are compromised and they are hackable, according to experts that I've heard, I believe that it's unsafe for me to fly. You, on the other hand, go ahead, take a crapshoot with your life. I mean, that's your trip. When I fly, I will have parachutes on my blimp plane. I'm not going to get up in the air again without parachutes. Yeah, I would never even think of getting a plane. The current technology in jet travel is so antiquated, it's ridiculous. You humans have not learned how to safely land a craft without breaking apart. It seems so logical that with the advent of parachute technology, you would have created a simple parachute. We had this discussion the other day. Sarah and I did. She said that the parachute would have to be the size of Safeco Field in order to actually protect the plane. She may be right, but I contend that the parachute could be condensed into something the size of a small Honda and strapped onto the upper section of a plane, much like a backpack. Hello, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. It's the simplest thing. So that's probably the only time I would probably get in a plane. It's just a little too problematic and dangerous. And plus, I don't want to run into all those chemtrails that are flying in the sky that you breathe when you're on board the plane. It's like, honey, what is that smell? I can't breathe, my asthma. It's just the moldicide they're spraying inside the plane, sir. We have to spray moldicide. Possibilities of disease, pandemics. Well, yeah, the plane is a death trap. Everybody I talk to that flies is suicidal. I've talked to these people. They're all like, yeah, I know, I could die at any time. Whatever, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take the risk that maybe I'd be targeted and then 200 people on board the plane would go down with me. I don't want to bear that on my soul. God forbid. I love humanity too much. I know. Mr. Gorbachev, you remember when Shaw was very active on TV back in the old days when you're still around? I remember this American Hero TV show. It is very funny, and many people don't realize that David is a big American hero in America for many years. After facial reconstruction done completed, he retired a young man and decided to go back into American television. Look at that. The greatest American hero. I'm back. You can't stop me. You like that? Oh, sorry. That was kind of fun. Who are they anyway? The Zionists. They're all Zionists. Look it up. Hitler was a Zionist. Himmler, Goering, they were all Zionists. They too sprayed their people with fumigants like are going on right now in America and other places around the world. Fumigants make people dumb and stupid. It is like lithium, barium, aluminum, playing tricks with brain power. Many of you are like walking around like sheep, not knowing where to go, what to do. Where do I go from here? You say. What is my next destination? I must get bread and milk for family. You've lost brain power. Ability to think. Okay, we're not going to belabor that point. We'll get back to it once we extract the sheep genes from your brain. Beep. Bah. Hey, I like the background. Isn't that cool? Yeah. It's kind of apocalyptic, I think. But it's kind of freaking me out too. I'm gonna leave this evil place. The nuclear holocaust picture is just not cutting it for me. Yeah, I want something a little bit better. So at the core of our plan to help the country is our concept of hybrid capitalism. And it's kind of like the engine of growth. And when applied, when the government can get a return on profit on some things and compete with the free market in certain areas, we actually don't have to finance the government with your tax dollars, freeing up the economy to flourish and the free market to reemerge. Right now, we're under the almost miasmic influence of a socialist economy, where too many people printed up too much money and borrowed against our future. There are parachute systems for the small planes. That is not a new idea. Well, then why hasn't it been implemented at a large level? Duh. That's right. They would target the plane if I was alone on the flight. It's possible. Yes. Zionists. Thank you. Any other questions? Trump is so shady. So true. That's weird. I'm clicking on your link, Scissor Fight, and it's not coming up. That's weird. Yeah. It was coming up earlier. Now it's coming up. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, damn. You give me more material to make another useless video? All right.
Okay. We got that one. That is the same one. Okay, good. Columbine girl, Florida girl story is fake, and yeah, that's the same video. Got it. All right. Happy Easter to you. I used to really love Easter. It was fun for me. Yeah, I might even do an egg. Sarah said she's going to get a dozen eggs from a friend. I might just do a little egg, hard-boiled eggs and hide them for Sarah so she'd go looking for them. She hates eggs, by the way. You would be Yamamoto 2.0. Who would you want to jump from a plane ripping through the air at 600 miles per hour? We wouldn't jump. No, that is one theory, though, that everyone could have backpacks inserted in the seats and strapped in. And when we're strapped in the seats dislodge, and all we'd have to do is have an interlocking thing release. In the event of a disaster, it would be a percussion plate that would trip a large line of seats. All the seats would become loose. Yeah. Plane's going down, top flies off. Blast off top. Everyone goes with the top. Or the top disappears, because that's a danger too. And everyone's seat just completely dislodges, and then the parachutes automatically fly into the air, and we all are basketed to safety. That would be so cool. Completely possible. But again, why are we settling for less? Why would we want to risk our life when we go into a plane? Why would you want to waste your life? Here it is, Wasteful Wednesday. I mean, your life would be a waste if you're one of those statistics when you crash. You know, it makes you really wonder about plane travel. Well, would it be a hell of a flight? You'd land comfortably on a soft, cushy, spongy chair, bouncy chair. Everyone, including old people, would be fine. Yeah. Well, you could probably get, injected with Valium if that would make you feel better. Little pinprick to your side when you're, taking off. A Valium injection, everyone's like, oh, we're having a crash. No problem. And then it's like, oh, okay, the parachute's deploying. Wow, this is great, man. I mean, we could make life a lot easier for people that travel by plane. But anyways, hybrid capitalism takes on the ideas that we've discussed in our show, like the blimp plane. Leonid Brezhnev is not a good appropriate name. What is with all these Russian people here? God, I can't believe you came in here after being banned earlier. Well, you know, God took one day of rest. He called it Saturday. And then Constantine, the ruler, declared it to be Sunday because he was a sun worshiper and a paganist. But he wanted to get all the Christians and Jews together, so he formulated a new plan. So the God's day of rest really should have been Saturday, but if you want to make it Saturday and Sunday, be like everyone else and just vacation, you know? Well, not necessarily if you have capability of getting oxygen deployed immediately to head, but if the roof blasts off, therein lies the problem. How do you deploy oxygen from roof blasting off? So then I came up with the flying roof. It's a complete stand-away airplane floater like a wing that just has inserts that float out to the side and then become like a triangulated wind wing. But then we still have to have parachutes in the seats and deploy that release later. But we do need to get you oxygen if you're above 10,000 feet. So if you're trying to follow that logic, Inventor Dave can solve all problems in real time. I'm prepared to get everyone prepped for the future.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle.
Okay, sorry. I didn't want to scare you. That was from Soylent Green with Charlton Heston and Edward G. Robinson. Yes, but it is safe to have air at 10,000 feet for many people with respiratory distress. Why are you giving me argument? I give you straight answer. You come back with argument every single show. Huh. Last night I took you to the church, the Cloister Sponheim in the town of Sponheim. It's a beautiful, beautiful church. Inside, I've never been there. It's absolutely gorgeous, you know. But it would be lovely to have a peaceful show like that. Instead of the angry, disharmonious anger that I sense from a lot of people. I've been saying this over and over again. It's easy to hate. It's hard to love. Always remember that. So many people want to hate and become trolls. And, you know, that's easy. That doesn't take any work. No, this is 100% legit. It's a beautiful church. I've never been there, but they have... it seems like the most non-denominational church I've ever seen. Well, I've never been to Sponheimville. That's the point. I've simply seen it in pictures. It's real. It is real. Can you not see? This is a pretty nice background, too. I like this. It's good to set titles like this one. Obvious New Zealand's Fakery. That's a good one. That was representative of the video that they tried to pull from the face of the earth after the internet got a hold of it, and they're charging some 18-year-old ridiculous crime in New Zealand for having sent it out. Oh my gosh, this is not my wig.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show.
We're going to get back to this guy tonight. He's got Freemasonry. Are we really supposed to believe that this is all a coincidence? Yeah, there you go. They're behind all these gun control initiatives. And now this guy, sure, Mixed Pickles has got that. Okay, let me break into my backup wig. I did this one last week, so we're going to pass on that right now. That kind of has a, you know, hold on, please. Mark is messing with the whole thing. He makes a lot of money doing that. Mark is irrelevant. The show is more of just a generalized free venue for people to share. We're not worried about position on his stupid network. Thank you. My goodness. Who cares? Okay, let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Looks pretty good. Need a little combing action, but yeah. Cool. Welcome to Wig Wednesday, everybody. Whew, thank goodness. I do not care about this person you call Mark, whoever he is. I'm more concerned about future of America, now that Russia is in charge. That's quite a stretch. I know. That's why this was only this was $39 this week. I realized, you know, if I ever run out of hair, I might be able to wear a wig, you know. And I got this one because it has a tighter fit. I think it'll work. I think if I run out of hair, you know, I could wear this. Why did you give Mr. Mark so much crap? I don't give him much crap. He tells me that Mr. T. Rucker is dead. Now we find out he is alive. And the many people who are now wondering why he gave him so much money to stop and censor the show. It is not working. Mr. Sponheim continues to profit and make big growth among UHF viewers. Mark is not doing what many people expect in the underworld. Hey, how about this scary thing? Directed energy weapons. Oh, I don't have them. Thank you. I'm going through my list of things. I have had to clean out a few libraries recently. Not a big deal. Just finding out what I have in my library that I didn't get rid of.
And it won't be long now.
It won't be long now. It won't be long. Yes. And the nice thing about this is it actually pulls my head forward. So it takes out any wrinkling in here. Kind of like a facelift wig. Wow. I just took off a few years there, buddy. Yeah. Whatever. I don't have a big forehead, nose, you know. I have a massive brain. That's what you've got to deal with. Unfortunately, you're not able to work it. Yeah. I've got the key and the code to my own brain. You do not. I can tap in with my secret password, and you can't. I own my own thoughts. You can't control them. You cannot control me. So would you like to talk about social issues like abortion, capital punishment, LGBTQ rules, regulations? What else is there social-wise? Yeah. A way for us to have a social life. We could legalize weed. There you go. Bingo. Weed the people. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Da. Legalization will help people mellow out. And it will provide medicinal therapy to people with glaucoma, cancer, Parkinson's, epilepsy. Willie Pickles, do your thoughts own you or do you own your thoughts? Isn't that an awesome shirt? I can't find a provider yet. If you guys know any t-shirt providers that want to make those, feel free to, email me. Whoa. But we've already been burned on a t-shirt deal, so nothing to, don't pretend to be a t-shirt guy. We've already got stung for $25 when we first started our show. Somebody said, yeah, I can make t-shirts for you. And he's like totally lying through his teeth. And we sent him $25. It's like, yeah. Sure, buddy. So you're emerging a new man. I can feel it. I don't mean to say bad things about Mark or Mrs. Scruffy. I have no verification of all the allegations that people have made about them. I can't verify any of these stories that these people tell me about these two people. All I know is that they are living the good life. I'll tell you that. Live in luxury at my expense. Somebody said, Dave, you know, they're making money on you. That looks a little, I think it's better up here. Yeah. Okay. It feels more natural up here. Surf's up, dude. They didn't earn anything. The fact is, if they're censoring me, they're going to jail. Because you can't censor somebody and try to stop a political revolution from happening. At the very least, it's Class C felonies with the FEC. No. Work is not what you call work when you censor somebody. Who are you and why are you here? What, gay? What? This is Wig Wednesday. Are you unable to actually comprehend what a wig is? Oh, well, that's a bannable offense. Later. Can you believe that guy? What a jerk. Yeah, basically Beto O'Rourke is the fall guy for Butt Plug. And Butt Plug is running a totally gay campaign. Beto is so jazzed up. We must all remind ourselves that Beto wrote a story about wanting to kill children. Don't forget that. And that he was in a hit and run accident. As far as Butt Plug, he can run his pro-LGBTQ campaign for the Democrats. They've gone too far to the left. I am officially a non-LGBTQ guy, but I will certainly maintain existing non-discrimination laws currently in place with government jobs. I don't want to kick transgenders out of the military. I think we have a perfectly good place for them. They could be doing like fashion design or something. We do. I brought the cat on, yes, like last night's show, Sarah brought the cat in. Very good. You can check it out. You know, Wesley Clark told the truth about, we waste so much money in our military. And I think many of you people don't realize that a lot of wars have been fought. We've lost a couple $1 trillion on Iraq and Afghanistan, not to mention Vietnam. But General Wesley Clark made a point of talking to a bunch of people about why we are in a war-like situation. And he has some very important words. Let me play this for you.
What happened in 9/11 is we didn't have a strategy, we didn't have bipartisan agreement, we didn't have American understanding of it, and we had instead a policy coup in this country. A coup. A policy coup. Some hard-nosed people took over the direction of American policy, and they never bothered to inform the rest of us.
We're going to take more of his 2004 interview with Fora TV and look at that tonight. I'm going to bring that up for sure. All right. Here's an interactive view of the actual burning of the Notre Dame, the actual burned area of the cathedral itself. This is a three-dimensional model that you can zoom in on and look deep into the rotunda and also look at the Doma that was destroyed. And again, the good thing about this is all the scaffolding is still standing. Isn't that great? And I'm pretty sure that the Muslims are pretty happy about the thing that happened, but who are the Muslims? I don't know. Does Omar represent them? I really don't know. We got another good one from Scissor Fight. Freemasonry, are we really supposed to believe that this is all a coincidence? Coming up at the top of the hour. Yay. And this, battle for campaign cash.
It's the attention of those who may hand out bigger sums to you. Barack Obama found that out back in 2007, 2008. And the rest, as you know, is history. Speaking of which, to history professor extraordinaire, best-selling author Larry Sabato at the UVA Center for Politics and the Washington Free Beacons, Liz Harrington. Professor, let me begin with you. Do you pay attention to this as an early barometer of support? How do you look at it?
Absolutely. Anybody who doesn't pay attention would be crazy. And any campaign that tells you today they wouldn't want to have Beto O'Rourke's number, or for that matter, Bernie Sanders' number, fundraising number, they're lying because you do want that extra money. But it is not the alpha and the omega of politics. You can end up winning with less money if you have the right message and if you hit the wave right.
Yeah, let's look at Howard Dean and all the money that he got. $40 million in one race in Iowa, and Howard Dean completely lost. Yeah. Huh. That YouTube is not popping up. That's interesting. There it is. Okay. Abandoned crazy collector's house. You won't believe what we found. Looking good. Thanks, Scissor Fight. No, the prophecy of the iGoat, of the one pet goat. iPet Goat 2. Yes, we played it earlier for you, in case you didn't see it. Yeah, it's this one segment here that I'll show you. It's a reference to the iPet Goat. This is an abandoned building that they're going to look at, and they found something pretty cool. Okay, I'll play that tonight. Thank you. Yeah. And then let's go over to the iPet Goat. Yeah, check this out. This is that video, that animation that the Illuminati or somebody at a high level created, a really high-end animation that only professional studios would make. And in it, it prophesizes the takedown of the Notre Dame Tower. See it right here. There's fire in the eyes of this pseudo Messiah-like creature, and you can see the collapse of the tower right there. And you see the crucifix. And that's implied that this is one of the next phases. And then it goes on to show in this next scene, and many people believe that the pyramids could be the next target, the Great Pyramids. Because in this particular piece, they see the pyramids hit with some sort of a ray emanating from the sun. And it crushes the pyramids. You can see it in the background. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, all the pyramids are crushed. Anyway, thank you for sharing that video with us, because obviously many of us don't even know. And this news came in tonight, pretty impressive. High school records apparently prove Ilhan Omar married her brother. Now the question is, could she be deported? And the real missing question here is, why hasn't Donald Trump even discussed this? And that gives you a clue as to what they're up to. You see, the people that finance Donald Trump and own him, the Russian oligarchs and the American Zionists, they actually have no intent whatsoever to stop the division between the left and the right, or the Muslims and the Christian and Jews. They want that division. That's why Trump isn't making a big deal about this, because this would derail Omar's chances of being the divisive person. They're trying to create division against Muslims. They're trying to constantly divide our country into separate, beings. We're supposed to look at everything from different angles. They're not uniting the country, they're dividing the country on a basic level, at a very core, rudimentary level. All right. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that we have to put up with this. And yet we don't have any recourse. The people in America are just kind of oblivious, that we're just watching what we're seeing, kind of like Bubbles of the Trailer Park Boys. He has no idea, other than we're kind of in a state of surreal awe and fear too, because we're being made to fear all these terrorist events that are may or not be true. But in the 9/11 attack, Omar referred to it as something somebody did. That didn't play well with the American people. That kicked her problem off. But she's really making a good point against AIPAC. But if they're able to vilify her, they would. But clearly they haven't used this huge piece of evidence against her. Which makes you wonder. They like division. They stoke to profit because far too much havoc to warrant the enrichment of a select few. Good point. Yeah, the monkey who died, Peter Tork, I know. I believe that I matched Peter Tork. He just passed away recently. He was the tall guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's strange. I do kind of look like him. In a weird kind of realistic way. There's still a couple monkeys still alive, right? There was, yeah. Mickey's still alive, right? Yeah. I don't have to be bad. I don't have to be... He's an American. He talked with an American accent. Yeah, so absolutely. I could be in the Monkeys if they rebuild the show. I could play I could play Peter Tork. Mickey DeLenz and Mike Nesmith's still playing. Yeah, well, if you want me to play Peter Tork, I could. You guys want to hook me up and we can do casinos or something? A pretty close match, I'd say. Not bad. And like the Monkeys, I don't have any musical talent whatsoever. All right, well, good with that. You know, life has become so wasteful when you get plastic and just constantly throw it in the garbage. You know? You notice how wasteful that is? I found a way of actually not buying plastic. I go to these bulk suppliers of food and dip into it with my, paper bag and fill my paper bag, which is biodegradable. But for some reason, we've kind of like hooked ourselves heavily on plastic in the world. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I wish we could phase out plastic. I really think we've kind of screwed things up. It's not a good idea to just, openly dump plastic waste that's going to take thousands of years in the garbage. It seems like we need a new Max Headroom. Somebody more intelligent, perhaps more capable. Yes, this guy is antiquated. We need a better guy. Someone with a different personality. Somebody who doesn't constantly skip with their conversation. I know what you're saying. You probably think I am Max Headroom, but I'm not. No, I wish I could shake up this whole picture with just what are we doing? What's the human race doing? Why are we killing off the planet? Stop in the name of love. Do. But the dollar and the Fed have taken over. The Federal Reserve note has become like a monopoly system. And we kind of realize that the Federal Reserve can't spawn new innovation when they dropped the zero prime rate, which didn't stimulate the economy. And now it just freaks every economic indicator whenever they want to raise it. But the Federal Reserve has become kind of worthless, to be frank. Or rather, to be David. I can be frank later. But seriously, we've kind of come to the point where we have no longer gained anything, and there's no real wiggle room for the Federal Reserve. So I'm proposing that we phase out the Federal Reserve slowly, bring on an infrastructure bank offering 2% loans, and also bring our troops home at the same time. Yeah, so we have a plan to end the Federal Reserve and bring our troops home. Now, why would we bring our troops home? Because most of the Federal Reserve activities involve world policing, ironically, because they're connected to the World Bank, which is connected to the IMF, which is connected to all the power players around the world. And inevitably, it's this suck monster that is forcing us to do things against our will. I don't believe the American people want to start wars around the world. I don't believe that we want to be engaged. In fact, a recent assessment of the Syrian conflict said that 53% of the country would agree with me that we should get out. Trump happened to follow my wisdom and use that idea to get out and stop funding rebels. And I think one of the best things he's done so far, ironically. But it's the bankers that want to make wars, and that's why we don't need a Federal Reserve anymore, because these wars are not helping us. And getting our troops home would help bring our economy home. A lot of their money is spent home. Right now it's spent overseas. Look at the back of the 1914 and 1915 $10 bill. It shows hemp farmers. Really? I bet that is rare. Well, we could easily have a hemp-based dollar, too. We could have a broad spectrum backing to the U.S. dollar. It could be based on renewable energy solutions, ethanol, hemp, hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, silver, gold. It could be like a broad spectrum multitude. Any number of things could be traded in value for the dollar. It's possible. But those days are kind of over. You know, I doubt we're going to be able to get rid of the Fed without a political rebellion. And again, I'm wishing that we can get rid of it, but without a political rebellion of any sorts, they're in it for the long haul. And gradually they'll just keep borrowing too much to not pay the interest on the debt, and then our overseers will come in and start seizing property. And our government is so weak right now, they'll just cave right in. It'll just be like a mass exodus. Whoosh. No one will take responsibility for anything eventually. No, none of us will be rich. The whole bottom will drop out of the dollar when that happens. But if we allow the Federal Reserve to continue this disastrous, bad money manipulation of our economy, that's where we're headed, period. If we don't fund infrastructure growth in our country, we're never going to get out of this situation.
Hey guys,
Hey guys, hold on just a second. Hey guys. Okay, here we go. Ooh, welcome to the digital spectrum. I'll be your host tonight as we navigate the Earth's ionosphere and encounter a changed, altered magnetosphere.
How's it going? I had a local YouTuber, stop by yesterday, and he works at a scrapyard. And while I was there, somebody was unloading, I think it was on a dump trailer, a little diesel engine. I think it's a Kubota.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I haven't really seen a diesel engine operate in small terms. That'll be fun. Thank you for that link. Will it run a small junk diesel engine? And The Lancet published the truth, EMF microwavable wireless health effects of urgent concern. Very good. That's exactly.
Hi, everyone. It is April 17, 2019. What I have to share with you, to pass along to you, is really, really important. I will get to the database of, over I think 2,300 studies on the effects of electromagnetic frequencies.
Excellent. Now, Never Lose Truth is really digging up story after story and link after link. Her site actually is full of links to every imaginable electromagnetic study that's been done. So that's kind of cool. Okay, we'll add her to the lineup. Thank you. I like her attitude. I know some of you guys think that she's kind of got a bad attitude. I actually enjoy her constant conversation with the void. She's got a very personal way of complaining, and she's under a lot of stress. She says she's been getting nothing but headaches from all of this. EMF radiation. She's in South Carolina, I believe. So Donald Trump still has his phone next to his head, emitting electromagnetic radiation. No, Alex Jones has not been banned from social media. That's just BS. He's been on YouTube ever since they took him off. Alex Jones is a shill, dude. If you think that Alex Jones is real, then I'm sorry for you. He makes a lot of money. Did you see he flipped on Sandy Hook? Yeah, just the other day. He completely flipped on it. He doesn't stand behind anything he says. Here's a 2-hour deposition of Alex Jones talking about it if you want it.
No, I don't have one.
We are on the record for the videotape deposition of Alex Jones.
If you put a bunch of pages in a blender with writing on them and blended it all up, and then you ask me what's in the blender, I can't answer you a question.
Because if
I can't say that. I don't know what we did over.
okay, well, have a few breaths.
Yes, maybe
you can. Yeah, you might need to do.
Making locations.
Okay.
He's under a lot of stress. He made outlandish statements that he said were facts when I've always questioned the events. The difference is if you assert a statement that something is definitely something, I've always said there's just not enough evidence to make a solid determination. And I'm always questioning every single event, just like anyone should, using scientific method applied. But final decrees and then profiting from your website, I don't do that. Carl's Jr. debut the infused, the Denver location is going to
Carl's Jr. gearing up to test a CBD-infused burger at one of its Denver locations for one day only. Yes, you guessed it, Saturday, 4/20. Customers can order the Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight for $4.20. The sandwich features 2 beef patties paired with Carl's Jr. signature Santa Fe sauce infused with hemp-based CBD oil.
You know, it would be great if they could just make it a non-GMO beef patty, you know? I would love to just, try a ground sirloin patty made out of non-genetically modified food. Where the animal was grazing on good quality food. You don't know what you're getting nowadays. Hormones, steroids, latent pesticides, DDT in their flesh. Or a worm burger. You don't know. So this is very troubling that Donald Trump has his own cell phone and could easily call any number of world leaders privately without the NSA knowing who he's talking to. So if you want to know if there's collusion, I think it's safe to say. Safe to say it's happening. It's going down, man. Yeah, they're all colluding right now, man. It's happening. Yeah, there's no way we can ignore it now. Welcome to the Total Collusion Show. We're going to wrap up some of the good things about collusion. Yeah. The nice thing is when the global New World Order takes over all the countries, like they've taken over Russia and the U.S. mostly, there may not be that many dangerous nuclear wars. So caving into that theory that they'll just kill everybody on the ground with conventional means. So you may ask yourself, well, okay, so maybe we could avoid nuclear war by these rich, powerful people buying up all the countries? Or should we go back to the mutually assured destruction concept? I don't know. I prefer the mutually assured destruction concept than somebody who I don't even trust, who's screwed people out of money all their lives, ruling the world. I'd rather have mutual assured destruction. Trump looks like he's central casting for the presidency. Yeah, well, the fact is, Donald Trump is talking to people secretly on the phone, making deals. That's not appropriate. Not for a president.
I mean, you just can't keep pushing folk the way Obama's pushing white folk and the way black folk are pushing white folk.
You can't do that. I agree. He is hilarious. You can't do that. So beep, 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 beep. And you got to ask, has Russia benefited from Donald Trump? And the answer is hell yeah. They avoided sanctions for almost 2 years. Only a couple of them have had sanctions. Hell yeah. What about our NATO relations have deteriorated since Trump took over, which is exactly what Putin would want, because NATO is their enemy. So Putin is getting everything Trump wants, or Trump is doing everything Putin wants. And it's pretty obvious that we're kind of faced with the reality that, yeah, Putin controls Trump. Now, is Donald Trump going to finally build a Moscow hotel now that this collusion issue is over? Yeah, I think that could go forward. And I know he promised Vladimir Putin $100 million or $50 million suite in the Moscow penthouse suite that he has. And everyone now knows in Russia that Vladimir Putin really likes money and was willing to get that one single huge offering of a $50 million suite handed to him by Trump. So I would think that the Moscow hotel is moving forward. Yeah. And frankly, I doubt any one of you is really that concerned. You don't care if Putin has another penthouse suite, even if you're in Russia. What, you don't want to get killed by Putin and he'd slip polonium into dinner and maybe cause radiation burns in your stomach. So you really think Putin should be ultra rich in a communist country? Jeez, what a joke. Ram Rancher, stick it up your ass. Defending Trump's policy toward NATO is ridiculous. We need NATO as an ally. You Trump tards are so stupid it's not even funny. You can't help but crawl out of your crap hole of believing in BS. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're all dealing with a harsh reality we're being dumped on. Climate rape is happening. And you continue to ignore that, just like Trump. You people are unreal. We're looking at it daily everywhere we go. They're dumping